Let's go.
Okay, audio's rolling. I don't know, to stall for time while people make sure they find stuff, I will go ahead and read Patreon thanks, because this will go up on Patreon as an audio. So hey everybody, this episode is brought to you by patrons like Go Comics, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Denton, Nestor Flores, Sodasan0424, and VideoGamer75. And if you like what we do, want to see us do more, consider supporting on Patreon. You get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it would really help us out. Thank you for your support.
I don't have anything to say.
Woo.
Okay, Lucky has no sips.
out.
Alright, okay. So we're
didn't even
doing
see cider.
Eclipse Phase. This is a session 0. We're all going to sit around and make characters together, so people's skills don't overlap too much in dumb ways. I said a little loud. I'm going to push that mic away from my face a little. And so that you guys can make characters who don't hate each other. Very important in Eclipse Phase.
Yeah.
Yes, we're doing... Well, okay. Listen, I have had one game group exploded because 2 people did not necessarily communicate their in-character and out-of-character arcs together, and it caused problems, guys.
Which one was that?
I was never there.
You don't remember that?
That was the
Marth?
Force and Destiny one I'm referring to.
Oh,
Yeah, we like
right.
literally typing pages at each other of just yelling.
Oh, yeah, that
It was not
Gene and
One time.
Ron.
It
Gene
was,
and Ron
it was
going
a
at each
long time.
other.
You guys did not necessarily
Ron
figure
was
out
all
your
like,
character arc.
Everyone was young.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
And needed the
here's
money.
how-
Okay.
Like less than 2 years ago.
Let me just say it. Here's how it went. It's just like, Ron was like, he won all that money, and then Blake was all like, that should go into the group fund. And Brown said no.
How the hell
I'm
do you
stealing
people
the
remember
money.
this stuff?
I don't actually. That's more details than I remembered. I remember there was betting and then complications over finance.
then-
That's about the gist of
And
it.
then, this was my ship. This is not your ship.
Yeah, well, anyway, that's why we do session 0, so that people can figure out stuff. So, initial caveats, for the moment, we're just probably going to be mainly running loosely connected scenarios, so don't get super invested in your characters, and keep them flexible since this is a new system, so you never know, you might want to change stuff, but don't, hand me a 10-page backstory and expect it to come up for a while.
It takes me a while to come up with something anyway.
No, that's fair. Let it be organic, we can do some stuff, though I do have some ideas for some scenarios that I'm still kicking around, but don't know when that'll be done.
I'm still excited at the idea of playing basically Soma, but in Eclipse Phase, because I feel like that's very easily doable.
Yes. But yeah, so to rough intro for Eclipse Phase for the audience. And also, I thought about this. I figured it's probably not going to be super relevant in character creation, but could be, but I figure I should start getting used to giving a general content warning for Eclipse Phase, because not only does it involve the usual sex, drugs, violence, and rock and roll, but also this is a game of transhuman conspiracy and horror, so there will be sci-fi stuff in it, which might flip your little, and also there will be Space Cthulhu's. Yeah. So, if none of that is to your taste, well, this probably isn't for you.
How often does the Space Cthulhu occur?
That's
Okay, well, so, we're gonna be playing it. This actually matters, because this is part of your initial, gear package choices and stuff. We'll be playing a firewall game. You are part of the organization Firewall, who are the secret conspiracy across transhumanity, across the solar system, who fight X-risks, or existential threats. So an existential threat is anything that could, bring humanity to an end. You've got your normal-ass natural stuff, like supermassive black holes, rogue gamma ray bursts, coronal mass egestion, climate change. You've got more socio-political stuff, like bombing ourselves back to the Stone Age, or everybody being unified into a fascist monoculture. Or you have weirder sci-fi stuff, like gray goo or green goo scenarios, alien invasion, or hard AI takeoff, which actually happened. Welcome to Eclipse Phase. It is 10 years after The Fall, which was when the crazy, self-improving superintelligences, the Titans, Total Information Tactical Awareness Networks, activated and maybe kind of sort of caused an apocalypse? Just a little bit? A little bit. Just, actually, does it say in EP2? I believe the last stat was 90% of transhumanity. Just 90% of people.
Gone.
So
now, some of those people have been revived from backup, but they totally died. So, Earth is now a hellish wasteland that officially nobody is alive on anymore. And there are quarantined zones where there was other Titan activity across the solar system. And so Firewall kind of arose after that, and their watchword is, there will not be another fall.
So I have something to say. So are we basically like transhumanist XCOM now?
Yeah, kinda. You are XCOM or Delta, you're Space XCOM or Space Delta Green, and you need to make sure bad stuff doesn't happen, and you are an extra government illegal conspiracy, so you will or can do whatever it takes. You need a black bag of guy, you need to, like, blow up a habitat, whatever.
Is it still heavily decentralized as an org?
Oh, boy, yes. You are also basically run like a terrorist organization. You guys operate in small, self-contained cells. Your only form of contact is the Eye, which is the social network for Firewall, which is, like, super encrypted and anonymized and compartmentalized.
This seems more like... It's very anarchist.
Yes. Well, the writers of this game also lean anarchist politically, so yeah, naturally most systems do. And Firewall has some internal politics, which you can get into later when we like develop your characters more. But yeah, in general, it's like Firewall gives you the message, you're living your daily life, and then they're like, "Hey, Sentinels, that's your cool nickname, you're Sentinels. We need you to stop something freaky and deaky. This can include leftover Titan stuff from the fall." Because the Titans were super intelligent and designed all kinds of weapons of mass destruction, which stretch our understanding of physics. It can also be alien stuff from outside the solar system, because in Eclipse Phase there are these things called Pandora Gates, which are like Stargates, but freakier. So you can access extrasolar planets through the various Pandora Gates scattered around the system. We've also met some other alien races, like the Factors, who are super intelligent slime molds.
Of course.
They're great. I haven't double-checked the fluff. In first edition, they supposedly represented a intergalactic confederation of aliens, but we only ever met the Factors. But they're slightly more advanced than us. There are other dead alien races scattered across the universe. There's a lot of great filter / Fermi paradox talk here. Like every place we've gone through a Pandora Gate, we found extinct civilizations. No, other than the Factors, we have yet to meet a living sentient alien we could shake hands with or fuck.
It just sounds like Automata.
Damn it. Yeah, there's a decent amount of that in there. But yeah, so that's Eclipse Phase. You are a technical post-apocalyptic future setting. And like I said, you guys will handle weird, freaky threats, which I will cover later when we actually play the game. But we are creating characters, that is your general level. I, as your game master, am here, having read a lot of the book and stuff, to cover all the things and kind of run us through this process using cheat sheets and stuff I have made. Where's my characters? Okay.
So that story gave me an idea that I don't know if is actually a good idea. It's not doable or not, but like, is there a term for like smaller AIs made from like Titan source code?
You would be put in a fucking box.
Yes.
I don't think we're ready to talk about game secrets.
You'd be air gapped.
I mean, there is actually the Titans have agents they shear off from their own code called fetches, but we're not talking about that.
Yeah,
I will say in the backstory, this is like probably an outer character thing, because your characters wouldn't necessarily know this. There are good ASIs in the backdrop, but they're very ultra secret, ultra hanging out in the background. Because here's the thing, the Titans were built by the American military-industrial complex.
Where'd you go, Americans?
Thanks, America.
Whereas, so they're military AIs, which is probably part of why they were so effective. There's also some other backstory shenanigans we're not going to get into, but theoretically, they are the highest level. There are attempts to reach super intelligence. Those are the people that Firewall usually shoots.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about X-humans and stuff, too.
This guy's plugged his brain into a server, and he's trying to make 50 million copies of himself and unify them into an ascended hive mind. Go blow him up.
Oh my god.
No, that's
bad.
Now that
I know that's really cool, but like, oh god, we to stop that.
No. That's your, not that you do Firewall stuff day to day, that's kind of the point, but that's your Firewall day to day. Okay, you have to, this guy's doing something really bad, or these people, you have to stop them. And then there's always the question of, well, are they just dumb, or have they been taken over by evil alien intelligences? Because that's another thing that's important about the setting is we should build up a paranoia. The Titans, supposedly, created something called the Exurgent virus, which only really firewall and some other high-level other high-level Black Ops groups know about, which basically, if you get infected by it, the mildest versions take over your brain and make you an alien sleeper agent. The worst versions horribly mutate you into a sentient nanoswarm or a
so it's
weird
a data virus,
jelly
it's also
creature.
a physical virus?
It's an everything virus. It's
polymorphic.
real bad.
That's a lot of.
You can get this from looking at. You can get these kind of viruses from looking at digital readouts and shit.
Yeah, Basilisk hacks are great.
God,
Have you ever read
that's
Snow
awful.
Crash? It's like that. So yes, this is the thing that before we do characters, I figure we should mention to everybody because Axe is new. Everybody, be gentle,
I am
but
meat.
also
No, I refuse. Do you remember that? You remember that image of like the varying depths and the various levels of fucking complexity and depth each game is? Remember how fucking Eclipse Phase is down, but in the dark where there's like weird ass fucking creatures. Yeah, you're going.
yeah. So this is the thing you should be aware of: paranoia. Some of those options have been nerfed. When we talk about picking gear later, there, like my go-to emergency paranoia kit is toxin filters, nanophages, oxygen reserve.
Yeah,
vacuum sealing. I want to be able to be spaced. I want to be able to fight bubonic plague. I want to be able to eat nanobots and shit nanobricks. Like,
when are we gonna get the Cyber Mog and turn it? Wait, is there Eternal Faber?
No, I don't think so. You can mount smaller devices. That used to be a thing for Flexbots, but we're holding back a little bit. Okay.
Funny to me.
Oh no! Well, okay. So I should say this also about tone, both to you and the audience and everybody there, because it's been a while since we did EP. My general themes with a lot of horror games like Call of Cthulhu, like Eclipse Phase, is how I kind of learned to run these games and how I like to run them is kind of a gallows humor thing. Because, like, it can get a little freaky for people if we're all freak show all the time. So, yes, we like to laugh and joke about stuff, but also, boy howdy, when I finish writing this scenario, I'm thinking of, I'm hope that I'm gonna blow you guys' fucking minds. Like, oh boy. There's gonna be some
I think
stuff.
what I want to start with is that I might want to play like an AI-based person that tries to look at the bright side of things and is basically assigned to team leader as being like, this is your recruit. Tell them
that could easily make sense.
Follow yours.
There could be senior stuff going on. But alright. So that figure we should go ahead and start with making characters. Okay. So let me see. Hold on. Where's my cheat sheet? Okay, so we've got the general outline of all your different stuff that you need on your character sheet. I also made a character sheet template. Where's that?
Character 38 if you want to follow by the core rulebook.
Yes.
Right.
So hold on, let me also share this to the Discord. I made a blank HTML character sheet on Google Docs. You can just copy that if you want a sheet that's got stuff for everything.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
I copied
Yeah,
that
you
already.
do that.
I'll just use this one for now. Hang on. I might make my own later.
Yeah, I know some people like to get spreadsheets involved. I'm just like, here's a dirt simple character sheet. Yeah. So this covers all your basic stuff. So let's see, we'll run through this.
So not really a Pathfinder spreadsheet on this thing.
So yeah, the game makes an important thing to distinguish between your ego and your morph. So most of your skills and core stats are you. They are your ego, your brain. Your brain can be downloaded, copied, uploaded, FTP'd through space to new bodies. So ego stuff stays with you wherever you go. Your morph, that's your physical body. That can change if your morph is destroyed, if you have to switch morphs, if you have to travel anywhere fast, because Eclipse Phase is a fairly hard sci-fi setting, so there's stuff like FTL lag and, oh my god, space travel lag.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's still pretty fast, but in the first edition there was a printed chart of like how long it takes you to get around. It's like a month from Earth to Mars. And it's like, if you want to go to the outer system like Saturn or Neptune or something, that's like 6 months to a year if you go slow boating.
It's legit, like, it's basically the Renaissance, but space.
Yeah, no, you can send a a laser pulse or a radio message or a neutrino message. Neutrinos are actually really hard to intercept because they interact weakly with everything. So they're a really great way to get a message out. But those are all limited to light speed. So the communication lag from Earth to the moon is, I think, a couple seconds. It's like, is it like 30 seconds from Earth to Mars? And then, if you're making a collect call from like Mercury to Pluto, that's, I think, hours of lag. So yes, yeah, you can pick up instant communication, but that's in the gear guide. I don't know if any of you guys will feel the need to pick up QE comms.
Quantum.
There's quantum tuning. So yeah, there's your 6 aptitude scores. We're gonna pick these in a second, I think. So, cog, brain stuff, int, perception-y stuff, reflexes, dexterity stuff, savvy, social stuff, somatics, strength stuff, willpower, not going crazy. I will warn everybody, in case you forgot, will check is your stress test, so that'll be your willpower check, will times 3. Because that's something they did in the game, is they derived it so you just write down what your standard issue stat check is. It's stuff times 3, so if you use will as your dump stat, that means your sand check is real shaky. On the other hand, if you have a shitload of will, not that that's as easy in this setting, in this version, because you don't get a lot of morph bonuses. Skills, morphs, derived stats, there's all that stuff. We'll go through all that in the end, because I think
it's weird if like one of a character that's not really socially aware and is not good at influencing people, but is adaptable and empathetic.
Well, luckily those are split. You can have low savvy and high intuition and be like, I can understand things, but I don't do people's.
I mean, the way to describe it is, I just listed off the 4 things of savvy.
Well, yeah, so savvy is evaluate a sav check, for instance, just rolling sprawl savvy is evaluate a social situation, express empathy, follow etiquette, resist social manipulation. Whereas intuition is evaluate a situation, see through an illusion, grok an alien's intentions. We use grok a lot. So there's the rep networks, that's pretty important. Welcome to the future, your social network is everything. We'll cover splitting your rep up in a second, but they've trimmed this down a little bit and focused it, so there's normally I pronounce this at rep. The Circle A list is for autonomous anarchist titans, Titanians rather, and scum and extropians. C rep is for CivicNet for the Planetary Consortium, the Morningstar Constellation, the Lunar Lagrange Alliance, the Jovian Republic, and other hypercorps and capitalists. F rep is Fame, that's the social network. G rep is it Guanxi? Always with the X's.
Yes.
Yeah,
Guanxi.
That's the networks for triads, cartels, gangs, and other criminal groups. Yes, criminals have their own social network. IREP is the Firewall Secret Network. RREP is Research Network Affiliates. That's the Science Network. And XREP is ExploreNet, the network for gatecrashers and exoplanet colonists. You guys probably don't need a lot of XREP right now. I figure, yeah, we'll just start moving through the things. So there's the advice we're following: create as a group, plan ahead, and hopefully, Marth read the playing and async part and read those chapters I talked about.
Yeah, I'm actually going through it a third time.
Good.
Cause, well, it was a story I said I'd tell. I
right.
remember distinctly the first time I ran Eclipse Phase, we did not create it as a group.
So I went with anything.
It came together pretty alright.
I mean, it worked, but here's the thing. I remember explicitly saying before that, also, don't anybody make a side character because I don't think I understand the side system yet. And then what happens? First session, Marth comes in, he's playing an async character, but also he has multiple personalities, so he's actually 2 guys. Only one of whom is psychic.
And then someone made 3 guys? I don't know how.
I'm like, okay, we'll run with it. We'll learn as we go.
Surprise.
Anyways,
it's like powers. Oh, that's cool.
Rain times was like, I would say negative 10 out of 10.
Alright, so step 1 is background. This is basically, where were you born? Where are you from? What are you doing? So we can roll this randomly if you want. You will make functional characters if you roll randomly, you just don't get a lot of control. So you can be a colonist, an enclaver, a freelancer, hyper elites, indentures, info life, isolate, lost, underclass, or uplift. Does everybody know what they're gonna pick already?
Well, like, we haven't really talked about what kind of characters people want to play. Is there anyone who wants to slide into a particular role or not? Does anyone knows like want to be the
I'm
phase?
sorry.
Who's gonna be leader?
What?
I'm sort of sliding to the combat phase.
All right.
Or
Sounds,
is
it sounds like Marth definitely picked Lost as his first, if he's still keeping that character.
Lost,
You're a shooty boy.
Lost async soldier.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
So he wants to be our
All right.
he wants to be our soldier boy.
He has
Alright.
psychic stab.
Oh, everybody's favorite psychic stab. Okay, so he's your psychic murder machine.
Great.
Let me tell you.
Info life or
Oh, yeah.
Yes, if you want to be an AGI, InfoLife would probably be the most appropriate one.
I was thinking Info Life or Lost, but I guess if he's doing Lost, we don't need to do two of them, so I'll stick with Life.
Hey, Lucky, what do you want to do?
I don't know. It's like me and you. We're both kind of fucking talky people. Do you want to? I was thinking of maybe being a face and going, just hyper elite, fucking artist icon, fucking face.
Let's see. I was gonna. What do we need covered? We need.
All right, so you've got a shootman,
Yeah, we got a shootman.
boy.
and if
I'm fine being medical or I guess.
oh well, if you're starting at
paramedics.
InfoLife, that's giving you all the tech
Oh.
skills and the hacky skills. You get InfoSec interface program and research as your core active
Okay.
skills.
Yes.
So
So if
you
someone
do
else
computers and
wants-
machines. Like
Yeah,
Donatello.
no.
If someone else
in
wants to
sheets.
do combat, then I can
Well,
switch
okay,
it
I'll preface this
differently.
also. A little bit of overlap isn't bad, especially now that combat skills are compressed.
And everyone has to, eventually.
Like how-
Everybody should be
Strap
able
up.
to shoot a gun a little bit or
Yeah.
punch people, but one of you needs to be like, it is my job to wear big armor, carry huge guns, and make sure things die.
Yeah,
Okay.
the whole thing with Eclipse 1 was like, okay, so there's beam, and then
Yeah,
all
okay.
the tech
Okay,
it's
how
all
about
just
this?
and then clubs, and then swords, and then
Just
hitting with this.
Can I ask what
melee,
knows are
melee or
required?
martial arts?
If
Or-
you want to be loud shooty feller, I can be quiet shooty feller.
You want to be quiet, shooty feller?
That would make sense. You need especially because
I
who
only
knows?
have infiltrate of 20.
Yeah, that's not huge. Because that's another thing is physical infiltration is a thing. And if
And I think
if Axe ends up sticking more towards InfoLife, he might not even have a physical body. I don't want to, throw anything on you, Axe, but it's entirely possible you could play a pure info character who is
Some
just
Deco
hanging out
threading
digitally.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
probably gonna do a Barsumian guerrilla fighter. That's what I'm envisioning right now. We'll see where it goes at the end of this.
Oh, you
Oh,
guys
we're
are so
going
good.
that direction already.
Oh, no, trust me. Welcome to Eclipse Phase. Yeah, no.
And then apparently I'm also, because of the whole async lossing, I'm apparently good at deceiving somehow, but I'm
Right.
horrible. But elf character, I'm horrible at coming up with lies.
All right, just putting some notes down for character creation right now. I want bombs and bombs in secret.
Well, hey, find hardware somewhere because demolitions is a hardware skill
Can
now.
I ask what no skills are worth getting, or just take the ones listed in the backgrounds?
Okay, so for now, you will start by, we're in step 1 background, you pick your background, so for instance, let's say, actually no, we'll use Marth because he's locked in. As a Lost, he would write down on his sheet, he gets those points, and we're not totaling them yet, we'll add to your aptitudes and stuff at a later date, but he gets points in those skills listed, so he has 40% in Deceive, 20 points in Infiltrate, 40 points in Kinesics, 20 points in Perceive.
That goes to specialization.
No, that's the actual your skill points, and we'll total them up later. So let me look at my character sheet format. So basically, let me look how this.
So
is
just
listed.
from the sounds of it, it seems like I don't know. Ron might have some, but it sounds like you other two aren't going to be real good at the talking.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
could
so-
go.
I can't really have anything personally, so I didn't want to
Yeah, I know.
You can totally play characters that are not you in real life.
Yeah, I know the example.
I do that all the
character
time. You
thing
don't think I
they
play a
did-
fucking woman?
I know the example
Right
character
now.
creation thing they did,
Well, now that I'll make it say it, boom,
async
I'm making
woman
myself a fucking woman.
character.
Wait, I played
They
a woman.
did the whole. Yeah, they did the whole async character creation thing in the character in
Yes.
the. actual-
But anyway, yeah. So
Yeah.
for now, Axe, you would write down those numbers in total because you're gonna add more to that later,
Okay.
maybe.
All right,
So-
what backgrounds are we? Let's see.
So I'm gonna take Hyper Elite.
I'm gonna
I'll
lead
be,
towards colonist.
All right, that makes sense. If you're Barsumian, you're an original, you're homegrown Mars. And hey, you got your hardware skill if you want to get that demolitions
Yep.
now.
Mars Independence, baby.
So can I ask who my character can call boss, like even if they already know their name, like all times. Just
Don't worry about it right now.
But yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah, we're not that far along to figuring out like group dynamics. We're still figuring out characters.
Lucky, I'm already sensing the in-character tension here.
Oh yeah.
Hyper elite Barsoomian colonists, you know. It's gonna be.
Should I be from Moonlight Range? Yeah.
Oh man, that's even worse.
I know, right?
But yeah. So also this means that I'm just looking at your stat fields. This also
my
means
character is just like whoever pays the highest money is just like I'm going with.
So also this means that just at the start, Ron's character is the one who gets pilot.
Oh, neat.
So he also has that covered. It seems like.
Do you guys have a preference for what I pilot, y'all?
No.
I will say space is probably the most universally applicable, but air or ground would make sense for your character. So AIs will take care of anything you guys don't. So just whatever makes sense for you. So the other thing is to keep a check of your no fields. The game generally breaks these down into 4 areas: arts, academics, professions, and interests. You can kind of see the different ones in your suggestions, but those are important because they can overlap with the other skills and they let you know things. So
I think I'm getting an idea of the character now. Actually, I think I have touchstones now.
So yeah, you get some no skills in every package. So make sure to write down what specifically those fields are, and figure it out.
Jeez, I get a 15 in kinesics. Damn,
you're good at
reading.
Can I
ask
people.
Like which no's are worth having? Like are like more worth having than others?
Like here's the thing, Axe.
I have like
knowledges are not set by a certain list. It's basically what it is. Like literally, I had a character back in AP1 who literally had all like these fucking erotic dances because he was a fucking sex junkie. So I had a bunch of things related to the porn industry and stuff. Completely almost useless for the character, but she still
Hell yeah.
I just have 2 nodes where it's like accounting, administration, system administration.
So that's really just you have to figure out what works best. If you're saying is you're probably going to end up being the hacker because you've got a 50 in infosec right out of the start. That's your hacking skill.
I was thinking I was going to be that or the medic.
You could probably be both at this point.
You could probably be both, yeah.
But
folks in the far transhuman future, Renaissance folks.
Yes. No,
multi-disciplined.
I think having 40 points is like the equivalent of having a college degree, so...
Yeah, it's flat.
So, I want to ask
crypto is probably a really good choice for one of your no fields, just in general. Your 60 is your profession, so, like, sysadmin could be, because that's what it is, system administration. Like, sysadmin could make sense, but it could be anything. Do you need to be you want to be like an academic, a lab tech? That could make sense if you're being more medical.
Oh shit, do I want to make my profession actually a hypercore politician? Do I want to be a hypercore politician?
Oh,
yes.
Dear God.
Yes.
What's your... So political science then, Chief?
Yep.
Oh god.
The art of fitting people into like
propaganda.
The conflict is starting already.
Oh man.
So later you're gonna take no agitprop. Agitprop. Oh.
So I think my touchdowns is gonna be like it's Pi from like Roleplay Swan Song and Emil from like Nier.
Okay.
Who? Sorry, repeat that.
Pi from Roleplay Swan Song and Emil from Nier.
I know Emil, I think.
Oh
yeah. The head. Like the goofy
little head. Gotcha.
Everybody's
Good
favorite
game.
smiling head.
Good game.
I should
that
finish.
can also destroy the world 10 times over.
Alright, so everybody wrote down their background skills, right?
Yep.
I'm just picking my fields.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I guess I'll be also like me.
So let's see. Once everybody's got all that, I should make that tab.
I will probably change the spell to do crypto for now.
And that's the other thing. You always feel free to go back and fix something if you're like, oh, this no skill doesn't fit the character I ended up as. You can always fix it back later, so long as you keep track of what points went where.
Yeah, I'm gonna just do that. Geography system administration.
So yeah, I'm telling you right now. 2, I'm gonna pick face, and my knowledge is it's gonna be smuggling in black markets.
You're one of those.
Yep.
Oh, you're perfect.
So
make sure to when we get to spending traits, make sure to buy a lot of resources.
Actually,
I am. I already planned on it.
Yes.
Engineering.
Okay, so step 2.
Also, if you do this, you know the stock market's going to drop immediately because your extraction literally the only plant that produces a single drug, sir.
I know.
The what?
Man.
Sir, ma'am.
Boss, if you take this specific plant, it's going to like break down the stock of this because it was the only plant that actually produces the seeds to make this entire ecology. Are you sure you want to do this?
Okay, so already told him I
Yes.
have an 80 in fucking kinetics. You cannot hide from me. I can get emotions
No,
off.
you're
a
great.
machine.
Okay, so now we're in career, which is basically, what do you do? What's your day job, kids? Because you're not a, constant, you're not a rich idiot with no day job, probably.
Probably.
How high can something go?
80 is the cap. Is that in my cheat
Yeah.
sheet?
Okay.
What happens when you go over the cap? I forget.
You get
You
to
just
put
get
those points elsewhere.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
Just
so
put
like
them in a
hacker.
similar skill.
So
Like,
essentially,
only active skills can go to
cannot-
active skills, and no skills can go to
Yeah.
no skills, but yes, bleed up
Yeah,
just
pretty
bleeds
much
over.
you cannot start over 80.
Yeah, okay,
Unless
well,
you
yeah,
buy
yeah.
a
Over
trait,
two.
which is useless.
So yeah, so my persuade's already at fucking 90. So I'm like,
Oh, so
Wait,
if I
wait,
have
what?
one
How
hacker-
are we already at a 90 here? Am I missing a step?
Yeah,
no, my
there's-
fucking no.
No,
because
face is
fucking-
persuade 60,
Hey,
hyper elite is
hey.
persuade 30. It's literally 90.
Hey,
Fuck.
yes, if you go through certain processes or certain things like
Oh, we're at career. Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what was
sorry,
I
I'm
saying?
behind.
We're moving on to career, so we're adding a
Yeah.
second template. Lucky has commented that he has a shitload of points in some things.
Alrighty,
I have
covert
to
operative.
choose
Very
between,
normal.
I guess.
So,
It has
also,
to be
you remember
weird.
you have, after this, there's a third template of skills.
Mhm.
So, like, if Axe is like, I want to pick between Hacker and Medic, you already have a really good, like, here's the thing. Info Life plus Hacker is a lot of doubling up. You could
Yeah.
just pick Medic and then branch out, and you will probably still be really good at your skills.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think so. Sorry for that. I think that works. 'Cause it's like,
Because let's see. So,
if I actually had a
Medic
specific idea
gives
what I wanted to
you
do for, I'd probably do
kinesics.
academic, but I don't.
And then you get Paramedic, which is good. That means you fix people. And Biotech, which means
And
you also
Biotech.
fix people.
I had this idea of like a doctor that's like all they is like I know how to remove and apply the cybernetics, not how to fix your internal hemorrhaging. I know how to put the
Like,
nanobots in you.
Well, yeah, no,
Alright.
Paramedic would cover that, but you could still say that it's just like, no, but I understand. I'm a cyber doctor, kids. I don't do this in person.
It's like I've never touched organs directly before.
Ew, blood.
I'm definitely feeling real world naivete for this character later, but we'll get there. Yeah, so
I mean, that's
kinesics
not
is
even
your
that's not even
kinesics is
about-
your sense
yeah.
motive skill.
Mhm.
Paramedic is emergency medicine. Oh, hey, you've got a bullet wound. Let me fix that. And
Let me just
biotech
slap
is
her.
implants.
Yeah,
and
you guys
then-
are lucky. I was actually considering playing a fucking gene hacker who was able to actually install mods, and anytime I fixed you up, I just slipped something in you. I decided against that.
Or what's kinesics?
Oh, yeah, I just said that. That's your sense motive. That's understanding body language and social cues and stuff.
Alrighty, covert operative seems like a pretty natural pick for me. So I'm gonna
Oh,
do
hey,
that.
hi. Oh, hi, 60 infiltrate.
Just-
Let's see. So smuggling. Hey, if you need something to fall off the back of a hypercore truck, you know who to call.
I think that was literally a pre-gen character in EP1, was a Hypercorp Black Marketeer.
that was me.
Really?
No, that's literally a pre-gen character in the. That's an example character in the
pre-gen
first
character,
edition in the book.
I really have this idea that like I am like this like fresh, or I guess like a kind of fresh like weird offline AGI that got
Hey, no, that actually really like that is the thing about AGA characters. They're really great at playing because you would have subjective experience of lots of things, hence probably really good stats and really high no skills, but practical real world experience is not their expertise because you're quote unquote grown in a computer. You are not grown in a body and learned from the school of hard knocks. So
Alrighty, chose my two knowledges, spycraft and security ops.
Okay.
We're just crystallizing here.
All right, I will just put medic for now. Biotech,
you got a couple of.
60.
Alright, no doubling up yet.
I have to add more. I have to add more no's. Oh, this is weird.
Oh yeah,
How
if
do I
you,
add that?
well, I mean that's gonna happen. You got a lot of no fields. Just keep
How do I
you
add
know
that?
insert right click insert row below and just copy the stuff over.
Insert.
And
insert
you
table.
should note down that unless you have an art, which you probably don't, the derived stat is cog, but we'll fix that in a second.
Let me just type these in.
Yeah, go for it. Everybody, take your time, type your stuff in. So, what did you pick again for career, Marth? Was it soldier? Marth, are you still there?
Marth, did we lose Marth?
I don't hear him.
Oh dear.
He may have stepped away for a second.
He might have.
Yeah, I had to go answer the door.
No, that's fine.
Ding
I was just,
dong.
for the sake of, keeping things moving and filling dead
Alright,
air,
let's
I was
see,
asking
so-
that your career is soldier?
Yeah, career soldier.
Yeah, okay.
Body bank ops, emergency services, or surgical ops.
So, body bank is basically morph banks. You rent a morph, you buy a body when you show up a place, and then the other two are pretty self-explanatory.
And emergencies like first aid, medicines. I'll do surgical ops. I think I have an idea.
Hello, I am your doctor.
I'm actually kind of a little trouble picking my interests.
Let's see. Psychology, biology, genetics. Genetics is for morph, like biology, I guess that's what too.
So
I feel like I
your-
should probably pick Jack of all trades just so I can have some guns.
your character is like a face politician, right?
Yeah.
Hypercore politician. I guess
Mhm.
network is also.
Yeah, but
Small
here's it,
arms.
looking at it, well, let me see.
Well, yeah, that's
Like,
the thing. Networker is 40 points in persuade that he
Oh, wait,
can't
how much
have.
persuade do you got now? Oh, I see.
He's already
Yeah,
capped.
so that's
Oh,
that's
we're
where
already,
Ian's
we're already stacked. Okay.
yeah, so I'm like, what else do I want to
Honestly,
do? I'm
I
like,
think that's the point of the packages, is like, if you take any two packages that overlap, you're pretty good, so you don't need to take a third package, which is the same thing.
Yeah, we can
It-
just
it-
have a
it lets
second
you
async.
diversify without having to worry about it.
But yeah,
yeah, let's see here. I already got to take off 10 off my persuade, and my kinesics is 80, and my deceive is 70. I'm gonna tell you some bold-faced lies. It's like,
so,
I am
yes,
actually,
there's no point for you to pick artist icon.
no. Like, I was originally going to, and I was like, wait a minute.
Jack of all trades does seem.
Yeah, like, Jack of all trades, I'm like,
Is there a
uh,
second page? Okay, so there's a
decent
second page of this.
slacker.
No, that gives you, well, that just gives you 30
Yeah.
points. You could immediately put in
You,
something else.
What do you think I'll find more useful?
Makes
Psychology,
speeches all
genetics,
day.
or biology?
All night.
Probably biology, because that'll
Yeah,
overlap
yeah.
with some of your medical stuff. But it could be, if you want it to be more about implants, genetics would make more sense.
I wasn't really about implants. I was just saying that was an idea I had yesterday before I
Well, yeah,
actually
no,
saw
that's fair. Like, I'm just saying, like, if you're more interested in one or the other, and I don't know, you haven't really picked up any of the skills that would necessarily lend to psychology, but it could make
Yeah.
sense. I don't know. Biology is a really good
Fair.
broad one.
It is.
All right. Oh, can I give you one? There's also there's scientists, soldiers, doctors,
And then step 3 is interest. That starts on page 42.
Okay, I did all.
interest.
Oh, where's that cheat sheet?
Exactly what
Oh, that's what async means.
Yes, async is sci stuff.
Watts McLeod?
Yes, the Watts McLeod of the Clan McLeod. No, but yeah, async is it's because you have asynchronous brainwaves. Also, by the way, Marth, your face is in front of your mic hole. I want to say that one.
Forensic
There you go.
specialist.
Hello?
There you go.
Yeah, a
that's
little bit
better.
louder there, buddy.
Okay, it was actually curled up.
Ah,
So
I do it.
because this is a headset, so it can actually fold up, so it's not sticking out.
I think I'll I don't know. I think I'll kind of
looking
lean
at-
away from actually doing combat.
I'm
What's
looking
Frey?
at. I'm looking at.
Dodge.
Frey
Oh,
is-
that's for your dodge. It's dodge.
Yes,
You
it's
know your
very
ability
important.
to jump over tables and get behind cover?
Your
Right.
ability to strategic or tactically position yourself.
Yeah.
All operator.
Yeah, I can't do. If I do paramedic, I'd cap
Yeah.
over a paramedic, so it's not really worth it.
If you're trying to dodge like guns, that's half your fray.
So,
Okay.
I mean, like, you could
I kind
go
of-
forensic specialist axe and be like, I also do crimes.
Or solve crimes.
Solve crimes, yes.
I am
That's
a-
the joke.
I am a-
Do crime. Lucky's character is like, no, wait, I do crimes.
Like, excuse you. How dare you?
I have a biological
Would you
assessment.
G-rip that fucker?
I'm a biological
That's my
assessment
thought.
program. How may I help you?
So let's see. Like, if any of you wants to go crazy and just do driving, pilot, just, hey, have a hardware skill and some pilot skills.
Kind of.
Honestly, I'm looking at
I wanna be
Slacker,
jack
and it
of all
might be
trades.
honestly the best. Like, interface, I get that 30%. I guess I could put that 30%.
You can just put that wherever then.
Yeah.
Oh god.
What do you like? I like both men and women, fine foods, and wine, and not having to do a whole bunch of fucking work because god damn it. Doing work gets me shot.
If you didn't want the overlap, student could work also, but I don't know if that fits your character.
I don't think so, because it's like...
No, I was talking to Lucky about his thing with Slacker, because that's got some of the same skills. Student could work for you, I don't know, but you also have really good in those, so...
Yeah, I don't actually have much knowledge. I have some program, a little.
But yeah, I think we're basically in step 3 interest, so...
Yeah, that's all.
So, Ron, which direction do you go in this?
I have some research.
Regarding interest?
Yeah.
I went with, let's see here, fighter, actually, to cover my guerrilla warfare aspects.
Ooh, okay.
The
yeah, so that gives you the dodge, the guns, the melee.
the fray, the guns, melee, security ops, also cool.
Actually, no, I'm just gonna go with like fucking jack of all trades because 25 guns, 25 infosec. Because I mean, infosec is good.
Yeah, a little bit. There's your free persuade. You can just slap that wherever.
And for my knowledge, I'll just go back up to my face and I'll just fucking take fencing.
Which, by the way, is fencing items you're selling, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that. Jack of all trades seems nice, but I'm not sure.
I mean, it's a good one because you get a little bit in everything. You're maxed out on infosec, but you could easily turn that around to... Well, you don't actually... You're probably not have maxed out on you're only 60, so that would take you to 75.
Only 50.
When you have to fence stolen jewelry and then you yell out on guard before the transaction.
No, it's he or she throws a lot of white gloves at people.
Actually,
Like,
I'd only be 75 infosec if I did that.
Okay, that's fair. You could still take it then. That would round out some of your skills. It would give you persuade. I don't know if that's to your character, but hey, maybe you can develop a bedside manner.
What does infosec cover again? By the way,
hacking and hacking defense. It's cybersecurity. So
pretty nice.
It's
distinct from
hacking is a lot of task actions usually. So having two people who know how to hack is not terrible because sometimes one of you will be okay. I'm sitting at the thing. I'm going to plug into the computer now.
I think
Yeah, I think Jack of all trades works right now because I'm not really sure what I actually kind of like doing in this game yet.
Okay.
Interface is different because
yes, interface is just
interfacing with hardware,
tech.
right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's how do you use a device?
yeah,
So
then
it's
no,
like-
I'm gonna go with Slacker then. Actually,
I've forgotten so much.
interest slacking.
Makes sense. All right, let's see.
I actually have some gun skill now.
That's good.
I have 0 gun skill, and I'm gonna make it fucking work.
No, it'll be fun. You got 3 folks, at least 2 folks who can shoot. So.
Yes.
So my persuade is at 120, motherfucker.
Yeah, so I can
I'm
move.
So yeah,
assuming
you need to
40 at
you need
this
to
point
you need
have
to
been
roll that
shuffled
over.
off. Yeah.
And let's see, knowledge. Do I actually want to have fencing? Do I want to like buy and sell goods?
So you're a politician, and you also dabble in black market shenanigans, right?
Sounds about right.
No,
Yeah.
fencing's good. It's
The
also
highest
like
thing
a
I have
really
is
useful
75.
field
Well, let me see
skill.
what other ones were.
Yeah, because that you would roll that skill to know about people who fence things and how to fence things. So it would, and it could probably offer a positive modifier to like, persuade. Hey, dude, buy this, or sell me this.
Yeah, I'll just take fencing.
Yes, I got everything up through interest.
Yeah. So what was your interest then, Marth?
I was async.
Doubling down.
Interesting.
Down.
Perceive, deceive.
Is that really an interest? Eclipse Phase? Come on.
I'm interested in my psi abilities. Cool.
I have some minor knowledge that I'm
I got one more
terribly
no skill. I'm just not sure what to
deranged.
go for.
Oh god, it can really be anything. Like, do you want to try and build something that synergizes with your existing skills, or do you just want a weird hobby? Because, like, boy howdy, no skills can be literally anything. You could be like, no,
Actually,
video games. No, drugs.
Actually, I'm curious. Hang on, I'm gonna go back to my old fucking
Is there a list of,
character.
like,
I want to see what my knowledges were.
There are some examples in the skill chapter.
I will find that.
Gecko.
Oh yeah.
I will find what page that
As
is
for-
on. No skills.
As
So the
for
no
what I
skills section
picked
is
for-
page 52.
I played a
Alright.
Yeah, I
fair
did pick out my substrain.
Okay, that's good. We'll get to that probably when we talk about traits.
That's cool.
Okay.
So yeah, no skills.
Yeah, so I was looking at... Wow, Gecko was weird. She had academics, astronomy, engineering, nanotechnology, then had dance with a specialization in pole dancing, erotic entertainment, black markets, and old Earth relics.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing. You were a Earth orbit spacer. Well, we called you a space jockey, so you were a pilot who lived in your space RV, but also your character was a sex addict who had way too much free time, basically.
Yeah.
Though once again, this is a hard sci-fi setting, so 0G is a thing. So by the way, if anybody didn't come with Freefall, if you have any rollover points, that might be a good investment.
Yeah,
I probably should double down a bit because I kind of don't have any rollover.
That's okay.
Maybe
that just means you
Well, don't
already
you-
have a diverse skill set.
Maybe I should switch at least 10 points from athletics to, well, I actually...
Well,
what-
you do have some customization, but yes, you could do that.
I do have customization points.
But yeah,
that
so
I
no
actually
skills are
spent
generally
already.
divided into academics, arts, interest in professional training. So, those can really be anything. Pick a college course that can be an academics type, no skill. Arts is all kinds of stuff.
No law? Maybe that'll be useful.
That could be useful. I mean, you guys are going to break a lot of laws if laws exist.
Yeah.
Knowing what
Just
the
to
law
know,
is will make sense.
Just in case, if
Well, Firewall is one of those
Uh,
spookers. You don't talk about Firewall.
Yes. But
let's
sometimes you
see.
want to know how to defend yourself in court.
because that might happen.
Alright, so
That's
I got
all right.
40 points. So I got 40 points to play with.
Sir,
should
Like I
say.
said, if you didn't put anything in free fall, might be a good idea. Just saying.
yeah, I do have at least 30 in free fall since I'm ahead of that.
I'd like to put something
And
in free fall, but
40
maybe
in
I'll just-
athletics.
Let's see here.
No. Oh, strategy games is a list of the samples. That's interesting.
So I feel like I might want to shift some of my DC points over to free fall and athletics because I'm more that way than that way.
It's fine.
Let's see here. How much would be good to put into free fall? Oh,
Yeah,
actually, I'm just gonna split it 20-20 with Frey.
That's fair.
and
Because remember,
Free
this is the other thing to keep in mind. We're going to add your aptitudes to this in 2 steps.
Yeah.
So we'll get your final results in a second.
History doesn't seem like that actually makes sense. I think law makes sense. It's I have this idea of
I have 0 guns.
I have literally a mortality assessment program.
So you're the hologram from Voyager. You can probably be cooler than that guy.
I don't.
I like
don't
the
recall-
doctor.
I didn't get to see it. I don't vaguely remember that.
Please state the nature of your medical emergency. Hey, wait, you're a reference to something. Oh, yes. I'm a reference. That's another thing about Eclipse Phase. It's meant to kind of be a future setting of our setting, i.e. real life. So you can make old-ass nerdy references. Just remember, you're making the equivalent of, I don't know.
You're
weird
making references to
hipsters.
the classics.
Right, yeah, you're making references to, how really pretentious nerds make references to, old-ass black and white movies.
Well, it's not being intentional. It's just I was just saying.
No, that's fine. But it's just another thing I should point out to people about the setting is you can totally make pop culture references. Just
Yeah.
they would be very, very dated by after Fall 10.
Marth has an interest in serial killers. Wow.
Yes.
That's in Lost, so yes. No.
Yeah, he's
It's probably people he knew.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my guy is sort of the type is he wants to hunt down all of his 18 friends and murder them.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
That
Let's
sounds.
see.
I
like
made a
sci-fi
character like that
manga.
once.
He has horrible memories, so
Were they your fellow Asangs in
Man,
that
I
weird
think I made
broken
he has
colony?
PTSD. So
Oh, you have to kill them because they're even worse than you.
Wait, did I make the least fucked up async in our history? Close face.
they also
Yes,
spare
but
me.
no.
Yeah.
You were really weird in a different way, Mister. I deliberately took schizophrenia.
I don't think I. No. My final iteration of that character did not have.
Oh, okay, you check that out. There was
You
a point where that
were
character had
called-
schizophrenia, and I just talked to you as the voices in your head.
I think we're called Hans or something.
Yeah, that was Hans.
It was
Yeah,
a
Hans
lot
was
of
named
names.
after 4 artists.
4 artists.
Yeah, it was the artist guy who
Hans
Who-
was remarkably functional for an async, yes.
One person created some sort of thing with Hans, and then another person created video games with Hans.
It was a very collaborative group.
Yeah. Hans just sat in the corner and did art, and occasionally went crazy and stabbed people.
Sounds like
Real async hours, you know.
Yeah, I'm just chilling with my fucking time dilation brain, doing work faster than you. What's up? But yeah. Okay. Did everybody write their shit down from interest, or does people need more time?
Let me just grab that number. I didn't find those things.
Okay,
This is
so
gonna be weird. I don't think I've ever played like a particularly non-combative character in some fashion.
Well, honestly, that was the thing, especially with
weapon
weapon skills being so diverse in Eclipse Phase. I think I always said everybody should have some way to defend themselves.
Yeah.
But honestly, with this, like, depending on your aptitudes, you could just as easily pick up a gun and shoot somebody if you had to, or martial arts them.
I have guns, at least, as a skill. That's why I picked up this.
Yeah.
I at least know how to shoot a gun.
I was like, you three
Well, that's the
other
thing.
threes.
You're all gonna own guns, but
I
Lucky's
might just
character
not
will
hit
not
anything
necessarily be good at shooting people with them. All
I
right,
have
but
loops
yes.
for this.
The question of hitting targets. No, that's
Also, by the way, before we get too deep into that's another thing I will mention to Gear in my oldsters. Smart links don't work like they used to anymore. If you
no!
don't
Oh,
have a
what?
smart link, you get a penalty.
Oh, what?
Yes.
Wait, what?
So if you don't have a smart link, you get -10. A smart link doesn't give you +10 anymore.
This is what you get, a generation of folks who haven't been weaned off the fucking...
Well,
Amos.
basically, I believe the idea is because it's a smart link or laser sight. So, hey, guess what? Without targeting, you need to actually aim with the sights.
Oh, basically, if it's like video game logic. It's like if you don't have a cursor, it's fucking hard.
Well, yeah, basically, so aiming also gives you a +10. So if you actually aim down the sights of your gun and take an action to do that, you remove the penalty. But if you don't, you need your gun's fucking smart camera crosshair in your AR implants to tell you where you're pointing the gun.
Oh, boy.
So yes, guns are a little simpler, but we'll talk about that if we get into gear purchases later. Alright, so step 4 is faction. This is probably going to take a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So factions are more streamlined. They're not like a skill package or anything like they used to be in EP1. But you have to decide what faction you're part of now, or don't. You can totally be like, I don't know.
I don't know.
And we can just come back to that as your character makes
I'm-
sense.
What faction is my boss?
I
I'm
don't think that works in this
freeborn.
case.
Nope.
I'm just freeborn. I don't know.
So if you do pick a faction, you get know your faction at 30%. And then you also will have a motivation, which is plus your faction. So you're using up one of your motivations now. And then they have the brief outline of the factions. I will read them out while people think about things. So you've got anarchists. You believe power is corrupt and favor voluntary. Non-hierarchical organizations are best based on direct democracy. So space anarchists. The Argonauts seek techno-progressive solutions to transhumanities, injustices, and inequalities. That's sciencemen. Barsoomians wish to see Mars liberated from hypercorp control. They're the movement. Brinkers, you belong to a cult, commune, or other group that seeks isolation from the rest of transhumanity. Criminals, you're part of a criminal operation. Extropians believe that unrestricted free markets and taking proactive risk with technology is better than playing it safe, so extropians are the anarcho-capitalists. Hypercorps, you support hyper-capitalist expansion, competitive, economic-driven social order, and you accept that certain liberties must be restricted for security and freedom. That sound like anything you know? The Jovians, the Jovian Republic, are a bioconservative faction who are concerned about out-of-control transhuman technologies. So the AI is probably not them. They shoot your kind there.
Or delete.
Delete.
I guess.
Shoot and delete.
I guess.
The Lunars,
Delete
or the
key,
Orbitals,
smash it.
they support conservative economics and Earth-style nationalism and the traditionalism of the Lunar Lagrange Alliance. So they're a little bit old-fashioned because they were the closer to the home. The Mercurials strongly oppose the assimilation and oppression of AGIs and uplifts, supporting self-determination.
Cool folks, cool folks.
So the Mercurials are the radical AGIs and uplifts. Like, no, dude, a dude and a gorilla are not the same. Fuck you very much. Reclaimers believe in transhumanity should be focused on reclaiming, terraforming, and repopulating Earth. They are all about the cradle. Scum push the boundaries of experimental tech, fully testing what it means to be transhuman. Fun. Scum are great. I love them. They're the hedonist faction.
Why do they start? That's why.
It's ironic. Yes, it is literally ironic. Not fake ironic, literally ironic.
Mm-hmm.
Socialites are part of the glitterati, defining and defined by intersystem media culture. So they're social media influencers. Hi, YouTube. The Titanians, so based on Saturn's moon of Titan, they are a techno-socialist society believing in science and technology can provide for the well-being of all.
And direct democracy.
They are very Northern European.
They are. It's awesome.
The Venusians are part of the Morningstar constellation. They are a more socialized, friendlier hyper-capitalism. They're about laissez-faire European capitalism.
I'm thinking Titanian, Vesuvian, or Mercurial.
And then there's regionals, which is basically you live in a specific region of the solar system and are invested in its culture and security. So, like, Solarians, Sifters, Belters, Europans, Ringers, Skimmers. Lots of different regional groups.
Folks. The folks.
Where you're just folks.
Alright, so I gotta choose.
Sad they didn't. Obviously, for people from 1E, Ultimates are no longer on this list by default because Ultimates are a little fashy.
I mean, I don't know if I agree.
I mean, like,
Just
yeah,
they are fascist
like,
fuck, but they I think they present an interesting character. Like,
they do. I think the point was that the EP guys, being the EP guys, they were like, we don't want to sound like we're supporting fascism right in the front of the book.
I mean, yeah, nothing really stops you from picking.
Yeah, nothing stops you from, if you understand the Ultimates, just writing in your faction as Ultimate and taking no Ultimates 30. It's just...
So it's all fine.
Not the default. That's another thing that, fuck, what was it called?
Ultimates
they were... I gotta look in the list of the old one, because there's another faction of Uplifts and AGI which are about integration, but they're not on the list anymore by default. There's some other stuff like that. Heck, fuck, you could play an X-Human or Singularity Seeker in old school EP. Like, you want to talk about villain decisions.
Ooh. Yeah.
I was curious what X-Humans were.
Okay, so, X-Human Philosophy 101. Humanity died. We are no longer top of the food chain. We must become top of the food chain by any means necessary. You must evolve. Abandon your humanity.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Essentially, an X-risk.
Yeah. No, X-Humans are pretty top on Firewall's list.
I get that's why they're called X-Humans.
We may have to shoot them. No, it's literally EX-Humans. It's we are no longer human. Like, transhumans are broader than humanity. X-Humans are like, no, fuck you, we're not human anymore. I'm gonna become a xenomorph from Aliens.
I become more human than human.
I'm gonna become a Doom villain. No, seriously.
I'm gonna be human, I wrap around to become non-human.
The art
it's
Predator...
like Demon Punk, where like it's like a Demon Punk where the idea is that like you merge yourself with a demon to become more.
Well, it's funny you say that because as I was saying, in the big monster manual type book they put out for last edition, the Predator type X-Humans who are just like I said, they're like, I'm gonna become the ultimate killing machine. They literally look like a Doom enemy. Like, they are bright red with sharp claws and teeth.
I was thinking SMT, like, demons, that I meant. Like, so it's like, where they're all, like, cybernetically based.
Yeah, but no, like, it's hilarious.
No, it's bio, my dude.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about Predators, is they're just, like, pushing the limits of BioWare and cyberware.
Yep.
I more meant, like...
No, I get what you meant. Sacrificing yourself. But yeah, so everybody just, if you have a faction, you can pick a faction. If you don't have a faction, you don't have to. You can
I don't know, I could...
What factors do you guys do? Because I'll pick last.
I
don't know. I was actually looking at like, do I want to change some of my shit around and become like part of the glitterati and just be shining? Do I want to become fucking FGO Cleopatra? I was like,
You don't have enough melee for that.
Probably, you're right.
You also need to have dance fighting.
He could move nose skulls around and take dance.
Yeah, I could. But
take it later.
Yeah, so I'll get on that. But
Marth, I would say the obvious thing for
you make a stand out of nanobots?
Yes.
Probably.
What?
Marth, what I was saying was, if you have no other ideas, it's real cliche, but you could just play a Brinker and just be like, yo, I live on the fringes of society because of my psychic brain thing.
Or you're a former Brinker and you're something else.
You can also, I could also see you being an Argonaut. Technically progressive, not. They still need people to shoot people occasionally.
I mean, they have a military arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking either that or factionless.
Oh yeah, like I said, the game says, if you don't, and also, it says faction allegiance doesn't mean you're hardcore. Like, you could just be born in your faction and you can change later, but if you don't know what you want, you can always figure it out later.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go Venusians, just so me and I don't Ron doesn't try to immediately kill me when he meets me.
I think I'm gonna do Titanian, I guess.
No, just delay the killing.
Yeah, just delay
I'm
the
just-
killing.
I'm just going factionless for now, since my async is on the brink of society, but he doesn't know who to really join.
Yeah, that's fair.
Plus, he doesn't
yeah, 'cause-
like. Plus, he doesn't like any sort of like hypercorpse.
It's no
So
problem.
basically,
Yeah,
Marth now
true.
gets a free no skill of whatever the fuck he likes at 30.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to choose.
All right, so I'm gonna get no Venusian.
Maybe we should get
So,
like
if I do Titanian, like, it's not a problem. Like,
No.
No.
Is there a problem being socialist? Okay.
No,
Dude, I'm playing a communist.
What?
Well, yeah, specifically, you're playing a communist, of course, because that's the fun thing about the
Well,
Barsoomian movement. They're not necessarily unified politically. All they know is hypercorps suck, and we will get them off this red soil.
Oh, they're just Liberation Front.
Well,
Okay.
they are literally the Mars Liberation Front. Like,
It-
we
it just-
moved to Mars, and then the corpos came and they took over Mars, and
It's
we need
like
to get
a-
off my lawn. They took our gerbs.
As I understand it,
Mars is real country. If you don't know, well, it's not.
It feels like, that
Well,
feels like
no,
Cuba.
Mars isn't
It
actually
feels
real
like
country.
Cuba,
Mars
but
is populated by French Arab nomads and Chinese immigrants.
Yeah,
But I
it's
like to
kinda-
think of them as Contra Southern.
Yeah, that's what I think of them too. You go there,
Is
it's
it-
all
so
like,
it's like you take Cuba, mixed Mars, and then like I guess what was it like the mecha game by Kojima?
Snatcher.
No, Zone of the
No,
Enders.
Zone
he's
of
thinking of.
Enders.
So it's like Zone of Enders mixed with like the Cuban Liberation Front.
there's a bit of
Mm.
let me
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of like an actual
At least
good.
it's not like Ron's playing it here.
Possibly. It sounds like he's going full blown, like,
Yeah, I'm going like full blown like Marxist Leninist Maoist.
yeah, South American,
Yeah, I'm gonna say
communist
South-
militia.
South American.
Because you like it, or is that just personal?
Ron has thoughts and feelings.
So we talked about playing characters who are not like yourself earlier.
Well, I made a character before that's not me, but is kind of, I guess, in the large, like, big tent area. Or, sorry,
Yeah.
falls under the big tent of left.
Ron is definitely a freedom fighter at heart.
But,
Yes.
I'm exploring myself through, RP. It's
Yes. So you will
I
need a
just want people
space
that run
AK.
I want people that run our governments to actually like do something for the good of us, and not just fuck it up. That's just,
Welcome to
It's a general-
this is why there was a content warning about sci-fi political theory.
Yeah.
Like, if you guys don't want us to talk about politics stuff, you're in a bad place because
we're not going to directly talk about politics. But, like,
now obviously
This
it's all
game's-
analogies, but EP is 100% like, hey, political conflicts happen, and sometimes people
Yeah, they
don't
do.
get along, and sometimes people don't get along, but they still work together because otherwise the apocalypse.
there's more important shit happening.
Yeah, like as I said, this is why like me and Ron were already like, oh,
Well, yeah, if you had played a hardcore, like, hypercorp character, like, not even LLA or Venusian, this would be like, his people are literally fighting your people.
yeah,
Well, Venusian's interesting because they're like an offshoot of.
Yes, they, much like some people on Mars
broke
want
up
to
the
do, they
consortium.
broke away from the Planetary Consortium's control and
Yeah.
declared,
Yeah.
we are the independent Venus. So,
Yep.
some Barsoomians are like, dude, it's great, we'll just be exactly like Venus. Others are like, no, dude, that's definitely not lefty enough. We need Titanian techno-socialism.
Oh man, no, that
One body, one mind policy.
Titanian politics actually. seems-
Actually, what is Titanian like?
It's supposed to be
Actually,
like Scandinavian.
Yes,
right?
Titanian
Hmm.
is there's a lot of, and I don't know how much it's about.
So
and
it's
if you
like
wanted
more
to,
like
you could
social democracy.
read more about them. Yes, they are
I think actually-
they are
usually
a
more
techno-socialist cyber democracy. So, it's a direct democracy. People, well, they elect representatives to run their day-to-day, but big issues every single person can vote on. And they vote
It's-
on
I like how they
digitally.
do it too. It's just all like, ding, you can vote on this. Well, I'm just push a button, go about my day.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's like
that's
a
why it's a
heavy
cyber
emphasis.
democracy. It's literally everybody is
Plus-
on the internet all the time. So there's no voting booths. It's just, hey, there's an issue, a referendum. Would you like to vote? Yes.
Plus, they have a super cool show on in the.
Yeah, they
Titanians.
do. It's so funny. I love it.
Okay, so I might be just a Titanian AGI or something.
That
sounds
makes sense. That's the other thing is they're techno-progressive, so like techno-socialist. They're like you know how theoretically we might run into problems being like completely 100% socialist in real life with actually finding all the stuff to do things.
Yeah.
Like would we be able to
work?
production things immediately? Probably not. But they're like, no, fuck no. We have nanofabrication. We literally can feed everybody literally right now. Fire up the fabbers, bitch.
That's what a fabber is. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, fabbers, fabricators.
Plus it goes off the whole rep system.
Yes, they are a non-capitalist entity.
Alright.
Is the other thing. So yeah. So you can totally play a Titanian, and obviously it's been a while since we played EP. Like I said, Axe is new. We will work our way through any new or old lore as we go on. All right, so everybody got a faction.
I should put
Yeah. If you're Titanian, lock it in and just say no Titanian 30, and one of your motivations is plus Titanian or plus Titan.
Okay, where did I put that in the case?
Plus civics.
Motivation.
It's right under ego traits.
All right, let me.
Yeah, so the motivations you indicate with a plus or minus, which is basically like, are you pro this or against this, and they help drive your character to do stuff and can give you extra XP and things later.
Titanium +1?
Yeah, just write plus Titanian. You're
Plus.
pro the Titanian Commonwealth. You could even write it down as plus Commonwealth. But where was I? So that was faction. So here's an important thing. Aptitude template. So there's a huge, well, not a huge list, but there's a list here on page 44.
Mm-hmm.
So this will define your basic aptitudes, and we'll come up to totaling skills in a second as the next step. So we'll probably do that all as one. But basically, you pick an aptitude template. This sets your starting aptitudes. The most average is factotum, which is 15 in everything, and 15 is the transhuman average for your aptitudes. And then other templates have different arrangements. So there's actioneer, extrovert, facilitator, inquirer, survivor, thrill seeker.
Yeah, I'm picking facilitator.
Okay.
I might be inquirer.
Picking survivor.
Yeah.
I'm
So
also I pick survivor too.
that's
I
fair.
might be inquirer, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, so these have different things. So, like, Inquirer is high cog, high int, but low ref and low som, so that's much more the brainy pants.
Brain!
Whereas Survivor is, like, lowered int, lowered sav, but high som and high
Almost all
will.
my skills are cog, int, and sav.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair template then.
Let's see, 15, 15, 10, 20, 10, 20. Wow, I got
Alright, where
20.
did I put inquirer?
Yeah, 20 willpower.
You don't put it anywhere, just write the aptitudes as they are
yes.
listed.
In your base.
Yeah, in your
stats?
base.
Yep.
And then we're going to calculate. So, basically, as you jot those all down, you calculate your check under that. That's your stat times 3. So if your cog is 15, you write down your check is 45. If your cog is 20, you write down your check is 60. So,
Alright, 10, 15.
Alright, so somatics is 10. Jesus
Right.
fucking Christ.
And the
What's
check
up?
is everything times 3, I guess.
Oh yes,
Look-
look at
looking at
me.
the
Me and my
stats.
kinetics and persuade at fucking 100.
Oh boy.
well, don't worry. We'll get to that in the next step. Because we're going to well, actually, right now, if you write down your bases, write down your checks, which, yes, your check is every stat times 3, so just go down the line. The next step is called total skills. No skill can be above 80 at charge in. So if you, to total your skills, add together whatever points you have, and then your aptitude goes on top of that. Your baseline check. So, for instance, if you have a skill at 50 that is tied to cog, and your cog is 20, you now have your total is 70 in that skill.
Okay.
And if your total goes
actually-
above 80, you have to, in fact, move those skill points to another skill.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, that
Get
means,
it
oh,
out.
cool. Then it means if I do that, I'll have over 80 info set, which means I put 15 free fall at least.
Yeah, and remember that because we're totaling skills, that default level applies to everything.
Okay.
So, for instance, free fall is Psalm, so you'd have a little bit.
Oh,
That's
wait,
the beautiful.
so, like-
that's the beautiful thing about Eclipse Phase is you're never basic at anything. And also another thing that is new for this edition, your base level for Fray and for Perceive is the stat times 2.
Thank God.
So dodging is ref times 2 always, without even putting any points into it. So if you have a ref of 10 and you put 10 points in Fray, your Fray is actually 30. Same with Perceive. So
Wait, Omega, real quick. You're saying, like, even with my aptitude on top of that, it can only cap at 80?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I gotta move points around. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, you got more skill points than you thought. Hey, guess what? Specialization doesn't being specialized. It'll break you. Eventually.
It'll break me. Let's see here. Link aptitude. Do I just want to put the points in there? Fuck.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, good.
Alright, so let me just insert.
And the other thing is skill types have to go in the same skill type, so you can't turn active skills to no skills, and you can't turn no skills to active skills.
Yeah. It's pretty much like the other pool system.
Alright, apt. Okay, so that now I can do that. Okay, so that's 10, 20. Let's see, that's also 20.
Just edit out all the math.
Oh, I'm not editing any of this.
Oh, God.
Well, I'm going to truncate silence and normalize in noise reduction, so there won't be any dead air.
Okay, I'm just trying to, okay, so I have the stats in, then I guess the check.
Yeah, stats check and then total skills, which is add your base aptitude to your skill. And if that resulting number is over 80, stop it at 80, take those points, put them in something else.
Alright. For some reason I kept thinking we were going to calculate all the numbers of our points to one large number for some reason.
Yeah.
Knowledge skills also get a base?
Yes, they are either cog or int. It's int if it's an art, it's cog if it's anything else. And like I said before, remember, if you have too many points in a no skill, you have to move those into another no skill.
Okay, I have all my points allocated.
Points. I'm working on all of this.
So welcome to the math, kids.
Math!
I think everybody sounds like they have a good grip on their different skills, so I don't feel like there's any new advice. If nothing else, if you have no points in perceive, even if it already gives you int times 2, put some points in perceive. You're investigators. You need to see with your eyes.
I have 16 perceive.
Let's make that
Good,
smaller overall. Alright, we gotta add stuff. Let's see here. I have no medicine skills. Yeah, I got 10 melee. What now, fuckers?
So the check is all my aptitudes times 2?
Times 3.
Oh.
Yeah, your check is your aptitude times 3. So the way the game used to do this in first edition is it would just ask you, roll Psalm times 3. It cuts out the middleman. Roll your Psalm check. Your Psalm check is your Psalm times 3. So just write down the times 3 number under the base number.
Alright, this is going to be kind of awkward.
Yeah. Jesus.
Only check is 30.
I'll write that there. Alright, so let me see here.
Lucky, or possibly Ron, if you guys have extra active point skills, remember that stuff like contortion and disguise are exotic field skills.
Oh, they're what skills? Oh, exotic. I'm gonna need disguise.
So if you find the skill chapter, exotic field skill. So here, I'll just copy this for you.
Okay, so then I have 15 points in freefall.
That is not the right chat. There's the right chat. So here are some example exotic skills. So stuff like sleight of hand, disguise, throwing knives, escape artist. As usual, I love that they put throwing... Well, I guess you could throw a vanilla knife, but they put stuff like bow and whips in the exotic skill list. There's still no stats for that, damn you. I want to just play Space Hawkeye, okay? Smart ammo is really... Well, actually, smart ammo is not even like a category anymore. It's just a type of ammo, but the special nanotech bullets are fun, kids.
I got 80 in paramedic and 60 in biotech. We're probably pretty good.
Yeah, no, you heals.
And then I have also 25, 25%.
Oh no, these are... Wait, no, this is 55, okay.
70 in program and 65 in research.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're definitely a computer man.
I got some free fall, just in case. You said that was important.
Yeah, so free fall is your 0G maneuvering skill, because there's no artificial gravity. You can simulate gravity with centripetal force, but yeah.
Alright, I've got a college degree in survival.
How much survival do you have, Gene?
40.
Yeah, basic professional competence.
Alright, so I gotta take 10 off my deceive.
Wait, are you not doing it in 5s? It's usually
what?
Easy. I noticed you have 42, so...
Or is that 40 also?
Oh, 40 also. Okay.
Question mark. I don't know.
So much sense.
That would be
I have 40 also.
Yes.
What?
That is the thing. Technically, we're adjusting. You could adjust your aptitude templates further beyond the template. The game says, please keep them in 5s. It makes the most sense. Don't break anything.
Yeah.
I remember doing something like that.
I mean, it can give you a slight edge. It's just weird for math.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Do you want to rolling decimals?
Let's see.
But yeah, so there's on page 48, there's the table of what the aptitude ranges and the skill ranges mean. So, like, having a 5 in an aptitude is like a child. But skill ranges are, if you come out with 40% in something, you have basic professional competence.
Ooh, 75 in engineering.
Man, this space jam
nice.
art is sweet. This art is so sweet. Okay. Man, I actually got, like, maxes in a few stats now. It's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, that's the thing about rolling randomly. You don't get as much choice. If you actually pick options, you will be good at what you're good at, which I like about EP character creation. You're
cool. So it's like biology.
like, no,
It's because the odds are stacked against you, so you gotta need all the advantages you need.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, the way I usually run things, I'm not like, it's like with gear. I'm not shy about gear. If I want to just, it's like with a lot of settings. If I'm as the GM, if I want to just fuck your shit up, you guys are doomed. Like, you accidentally trip across an antimatter mine. It's 2 whole motes of antihydrogen. You all explode and die.
We just lost the phone.
Character wipe. But that's the beautiful thing about Eclipse Phase. You're not actually dead. You can come back. It's just you lose all your memories from when you came back. Before you came back.
Really came back. Oh,
I
Sorry,
wonder
I
if
ghosted.
you could
I'm going to
consider
take
just
the
not-
negative
have a body.
ego treg narcoleptic, and I'm just going to randomly pass out.
You could do that. That's probably a thing.
That's probably a thing somewhere, but it's why I have the slackers, because I actually don't want to go anywhere, because I don't want to just pass out randomly on the road.
Yes.
Let me see here. So I got to open up everything again.
the space roads, if you will.
Alright, so let's see here.
Well, if he's from Venus, that would be worse, because that would mean he's flying his flying car. So you want to keep your altitude level before you approach the horrifying hellscape of the Venusian surface. Which sucks. Venus still sucks, kids. People live in flying cities because the atmosphere is super dense, and the surface...
Yeah, it just, like, again, it's like, there's no Earth, so we kind of manage.
Yeah, that's the thing about Eclipse Phase, is like, without... Earth was great. We loved Earth. It was a perfect biome, only now it's not. So now we're stuck living in, like, dome cities on Mars or Luna, flying cities on Venus, like, you know...
There's no terraforming companies?
Oh, there are. Mars is slowly being terraformed. Terraforming takes a long time.
It would.
They have...
also-
Mars has enough oxygen through terraforming now that if you have a morph with the enhanced respiration wear, you can breathe on it, but otherwise it's still not enough density for humans. Normal.
Did you know that Mars actually has blue skies?
Interesting.
Yeah, all the images of Mars that were taken were actually under a red filter for some reason. That's actually a thing.
I gotta read it.
So, like,
Well, that reminds me of that.
it's not actually a red planet to most degrees.
Well, it's still orangey-ish.
Yeah, but its skies are blue, so it actually has, like, some level of atmosphere that's terraformable.
But yeah.
Let's see here.
By the way, Ron, you're a little quiet. It's your face.
How much disguise do you think I want? Let's see here.
I don't know. Well, also, you can get mods later that, you know.
Yeah,
Skin Flex is, I think, like, plus 20 disguise, so...
Yeah, I'll just put in a solid 30. That'll put me up to 45. Some
It's a good
bonuses
base,
would be
yeah.
good.
That's it.
And for anything else, I'll just rely on my fucking 80 deceive.
Nice.
Ah, yes, you have.
Okay.
You understand the criminal mastermind move. Lie, deny everything.
I wasn't here. Can't prove it. We have you on video. Wasn't me. Have you
It
heard about
wasn't
Skin
me.
Flex?
Have you? What? We're in the post transhuman society, and you don't think we can just wear the skins of each other? It's just annoying.
Well, hey, I mean,
That involves some consent.
what about we want to talk about some weird shit. What about deep fakes? Like, this is the transhuman future. No, you can totally deep fake your ass
we're
doing anything.
past deep fakes now. We're
It's literally just outright impersonation. They're literally
Weird.
just
No, we're
Fucked up
past
people's
deep fakes.
bodies.
Literally, I stole a blood sample, I cloned your body, and wore a copy of you. Whoa,
exactly.
dude.
It's gonna decay in a
That's
week. but
pretty
it's
meta.
It's gonna decay in a week, but I am you
Alright,
for
so
a
I
week.
still got 20 points here then. Let's see here. Let's see here. My phrase at 40, my free fall's at 30. I could gun.
Yeah.
I had very little overlap, so
I mean, like I said, if you will own a gun by default.
what the fuck? My perceive's 20.
You might want to fix that if you got any rollover points.
I don't, but I'll probably try to.
Well, you have customization points later. It's pretty. It's pretty easy to buy some
I've got
extra skill
20
points.
CP, so
Yeah,
I don't have any perceive. That's dangerous.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
you
no,
have.
that's
Well, your int is 20, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so your perceive is 40, so you actually have
Oh,
quite
I
a
should
lot.
probably put
to drag.
I should probably put the minimums in then, I guess.
If you want
Actually,
to.
no. I think I should let's see. My perceive is only 30. I don't know.
Your kinesics is really good. That's what matters for you.
I guess that's true.
Also, once again, that's the beautiful thing about Eclipse Phase. Your skill total sucks. We'll fix that with science and technology.
I don't even have a body.
Oh no, you're gonna. Well,
Trust me, we can still do some shit. There's a lot of
I
stuff
don't
you
have a
can plug
body
into your brain.
right now.
let's see here. So yeah, I'm guessing between. Let's see here. I got 80 to sea, 45 disguise, 40 fray, 30 free fall. Let's see here. What?
Infiltrator's reflex. That is very nice.
I have 75 in hypercore politics and smuggling. I know some shit.
I've got a doctorate in infiltration. I'm gonna run this bit into the ground.
All right, so I'm gonna list off what I like my higher skills, and then tell me what kind of things I should what kind of things I could do.
Okay.
Oh god, fucking
Okay,
damn it,
so-
I've lost.
80 infosec,
Okay, so you hack things.
70 interface, 80 systems admin, 80 is biology, 80 paramedic, 70 program, 65 research, and
Yeah, so you are the tech man, whether it's biotech or physical tech. Like, this guy had an injury, let me fix that. What's a weird... Hey, what would cause a biological reaction where all your blood comes out, and you'd be like, oh, I know about that.
that should be like a cross-pressure hemorrhage.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, so you've got all the skills to tell all things about biology, which will be helpful, and then also you've got all the hacking, so computers, everything, programming.
It's like I can assess the biology of the weird thing we're looking at, but can I ask you? Can I not, sir? Can I not?
Can I not poke this?
You're gonna poke it.
Can I not scan this for you? I better not scan
Okay,
it.
let me
Stop
hold
scanning
on.
it.
Let me
Stop.
make a backup of me before I learn this, just in case it's too terrible.
It's like
Then I'm going to delete myself.
sit
Welcome to
in
the
back
future, by the way.
into your-
You can.
your local, like,
It's
drive.
stressful, but you can totally do that. You can totally be like, hold on, let me back myself up before I learn this. Let me learn this, and if it's too terrible to know, I'll just delete myself.
I just image like I'm now like the AI inside of your scanning devices. It's like just stop scanning the wall.
I mean, yeah, if you end up a pure infomorph, that will probably be something like that, because somebody will have to pick up a ghostwriter, or you'll have to buy a bot which can carry you. Or, I think you can get a private server pretty easy in this edition.
We'll think
We'll
about
figure
it
that
when we
out.
get through it. It's
Yeah.
a thing to consider.
40.
I said, I just have 20 points. I'm just like, I have to put them in active skill. I'm like, don't know what.
Could put it in another exotic skill.
Let's see, what else? I guess that's true. What could be fun?
I posted the list already in...
Yeah, let me look at here real quick.
I kind of really want to get some.
I don't want to just sleight of hand. Space Wizards!
Yes. Oh no, like, that's the thing. Asyncs are totally the magic archetype for this. Which means, because it's Eclipse Phase, they're fucked up and scary and really weird. But, I mean, they took it out, that you can just let somebody heal, but they do let you... There is still a side select that lets you touch somebody and they take a short recharge. Like, you can literally poke somebody and be like, hey buddy, you get a 5-minute rest for free.
I should just take animal handling and just get smart fucking animals and just be like, go my attack dogs.
You totally can. Smart animals are a thing. They're pretty
Oh my
fun in
God.
this.
I
Really
remember
be like
people
Transhuman's
talked about
Future, but like it's Carmelo Rider, but the Transhuman's Future version.
It's pretty fucking close, honestly. Nah.
No, Carmella has a gun.
Yeah. Let's see.
It's not a water gun.
I remember that one.
I don't know. I mean, like, hey, you could pick a pilot or a hardware field.
You could always use a pilot landcraft.
What are you piloting?
I'm piloting spacecraft.
You know, I'll get pilot aircraft.
That makes sense.
All right,
That's a
that
good
makes sense for Venusians.
Yeah.
Makes sense for your character. Gives you a little different skill.
That's what I'll do. Alright, thank you.
Has
And
everybody
your
totalified their skills?
Lamborghini Cloud Rider. Let's see.
I think my skills are finalized, so I guess the total skill.
I only have a 30 in it, so
I mean, you can try.
That's pretty good.
There are AIs for most things, but you never know when you're going to be Will Smith in iRobot and be like, switch into manual.
So how do you get like a cog into buff 45?
You don't. 30 is the
What?
aptitude cap.
I meant okay. Then how do you get 45?
Times 3? What?
No, I'm looking at languages.
Oh,
No, that's total. It's your int plus your
Cog.
cog
Oh, I
plus
only
int.
get 40 even. Like that's I got the highest one for that angle, so it's like
I mean, you could like because you could move stuff around. For instance, you could be like, I can be completely incompetent at some and drop that down to 5 points, and I get another 5 points in my
no.
yeah.
I-
No, it's really min maxy.
Okay.
all right. So let's
but
see.
yeah,
Each
step 7
character
languages.
starts knowing 2 languages.
Yes, we talked about this with the transhuman competence. Everybody in the transhuman future is bilingual by default.
Well, let's choose a.
But languages are no longer a skill. That's a huge improvement. Either you know them or you
Yes.
don't.
Okay, so I chose
I get three
English,
languages,
Mandarin, and
Wait, no. I only got
Alright.
2 languages. Interesting.
I've picked Hindi and Mandarin.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. You are from the Mars. Like the only other good language for that would be Arabic. But actually, is your cog plus int higher than 35?
Nope. It's
Okay.
25.
What language is most like general code programs in?
Yeah. But I would say that
And-
the language that would make most sense for your character being from Titan is Scandinaviska, which is the generic universal Scandinavian language. Is one of your slots.
syncretic Danish skin.
Yes.
or
The other
Swedish
popular
as
one
well.
would be Mandarin. Like, if you guys want to make Mandarin your trade language, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll pick Mandarin, but I gotta find something core Venusian to speak here.
okay,
That would be
I'm
something
just
European, so like French, Spanish, German, English.
What stuff
I'm
is
fairly-
German.
What,
We're going with German.
what are most like medical places language speak in, or is it just like common?
What?
What's that?
What most
I mean-
like medical?
Well, most
centers-
medical stuff is in Latin, but that's a really useless language now. I don't know.
Anyway,
Just pick
okay.
one of the common languages. You've got like these are the most common by volume: Arabic, Cantonese, English. Like if you've got Scandinaviska and well, actually, you get an extra one probably because you're
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get one extra, so I get 3.
okay. So
Ron,
like,
what were your languages again?
Mine are Hindi and Mandarin.
Yeah, I'm picking Mandarin as my class, so I can.
I
So we
guess
can
I'll
yell
do-
at each
I
other.
can do English, that, and Mandarin.
I
Yeah.
got English and Mandarin.
All right, look at that.
All right, so
I guess
now I
because
gotta pick-
none else are going to be speaking English. So that's like,
well, yeah. I'm not gonna make you learn Mandarin to play this game, but hey, welcome. This is truly the transhuman future. Our common language is Mandarin Chinese.
because there's so many of them. There's just so many of them.
I mean, that's what this language list is. This language list is based on volume on Earth, so there's a lot of Mandarin speakers and a lot of Cantonese speakers.
Let's see.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
start with 1 permanent flex point. Cool.
Yes, step 8 is flex. It's pretty easy. You start with 1 flex point. You
Oh,
may
yeah.
not start with this is your ego flex. Everybody gets an ego point of flex, which is one of your pools.
All right, let me just list this down. Okay, I just have to like write it down in like skin to this because like actually it's hard to type out. So
Yes.
take it over.
Scandinaviska. Scandinaviska. Alright, you have 100 points to divide between right networks.
Yeah, if you're gonna jump all the way into rep networks.
Well, I guess that's the next point.
Well, yeah. If flex is really easy. Everybody write down in your box for ego flex 1.
Yes. Sorry if I, sorry if I
like
got
5
a...
boxes under the aptitudes.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
in the flex box, write it down there.
Just unfortunately, I do have to
Okay.
balance in roughly 30 minutes, so...
Well, that's fair. We can speed this up a little.
It's-
We've gone
yeah, so
longer than
30
I
minutes?
thought.
Yeah,
We're an
sorry.
hour and a half in. That's
No,
okay.
yeah, you're all fine. I would actually prefer it if I could stay and hash this out in depth, but unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
it
So
just-
we'll
something came
we'll
up
keep
today.
picking this up. So step 9, rep. You get 100 points of rep to divide between your rep networks. The game says it's strongly consider taking rep scores that fit with your faction. The recommendation is either 60-40 or 50-25-25. You can't start with 80 and higher than anything else. So, where's that list? I'll just copy
Where?
it. I'll just copy the bullet
should we all
list.
Should we all have like reputation like the same faction or no?
No, we
No,
don't.
you're different factions.
We're different factions.
What factions are there?
I mean, I just,
Earlier when
that's
we
the
were
wrong one.
picking.
And it's the wrong
Oh,
check.
yeah.
I
Let me fix
Oh,
that.
those,
don't
okay.
Although,
think
Never mind. Yeah, okay.
There it is.
I'm
I've
trying
seen
to
them, yes.
put any
the factions
point-
are more granular than the
The
networks,
networks,
which
yeah.
are a little
Sure.
more...
So, like, if you wanted
Uh,
to throw some in IREP, that all makes sense.
Oh, the various reps. Yeah.
So this is your reputation networks. Like, for Lucky's character, I could see either, like, the 60-40, like, C-rep, I-rep, or something.
Mhm.
Or you could go, like, the 50-25-25 and be, like, C-rep, F-rep, or G-rep, and I-rep. Or not even any I-rep. You could just be C-rep, F-rep, G-rep. Whatever fits your character. But, like I said, the game recommends 60-40 or 50-25-25.
I'm gonna do.
Alright, so I guess it's like.
And
50
this is a static
rep.
score. And
50
you-
net rep, 25 and R rep.
I'm trying to think about what would be the most.
Alright.
I mean, your faction list, you should probably go whole hog and be like 60 I-rep.
And then I still have 40 points.
I know. You could spread it out and be like, give yourself a little bit in everything. R-rep might make sense, G-rep might work. Like, that 40 you could split into two 20s. You're less good at networking that way, but it might make more sense.
Okay, so I have 60 in I rep, 20 in R rep, then 20 in App rep.
Okay, that works.
Alright, so
Because I don't want to have any rep in the F rep because I don't want to be in the spotlight. Or in kernels.
Alright,
Alright, so I think I'm doing 25 in at rep, and I think 50 in R rep,
Sure.
I will be.
and then maybe might do 25 in I rep, but like, or C rep, not sure.
Probably not C-rep for your character.
Yeah, okay.
I've got 60 at rep and 40 G rep. Alright.
Of course you do.
I don't know if I should do 25 G rep, but it's like, what is like, I guess like, what does like reputation like mean by that point?
Okay, so reputation, your rep score, there are different levels to it overall, but basically your rep is your social reputation with those groups. So you will roll checks, you will spend rep points to get favors, and so on and so forth based on that. So this is how tight you are with that group.
Abstractly, it's sort of like a social
what's your social credit with these people?
Alright, move on.
Here it is. Okay. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go with 50 C rep and then 25 G rep and 25 I rep.
Okay.
I think I'll do 25 I rep as well, actually.
Yeah. I rep
So
is a
it's
good
like
one because it's secret, so you can't really use it for your normal ass shit, but it's your firewall rep, so it's
Right, so 25 rep, 25 I rep,
Right.
and then 50 R rep, so it's like, hey,
That was
I think that works.
Okay.
Oh, lucky. Apparently, Calamity Jane's voice actress is Kalinka from Girls Frontline. That's gonna be weird.
That's
I'll say
gonna
it's
be-
interesting in how, like, she's not the actual Calamity Chain, and she's just more of, like, the joke servant first version. It's interesting. It makes
Yeah,
it
she is
weird
definitely
cheerleader design.
space, but whatever. Space cowboy.
She's a space cheerleader for some reason.
Well, I don't know if you'd actually.
Yeah.
I mean, she did a lot of stuff. All right, so if everybody got your reps figured out, we're in step 10 customization. Ron's been here for
Oh,
a
yeah.
while, but that's okay. So you've got 20 customization points. They can be spent in the following ways. They are listed in my cheat sheet. So basically, 1 CP is 1 stat point. This is where we pick ego traits. There's a whole list of the positive and negative traits if you need them. 1 CP or 2 CP is 1 ego flex permanent. 1 CP is 1 language. 1 CP is 5 points in a rep. 1 CP is 5 points in a skill. 1 CP is 1 specialization. So the way specializations work is you pick something in your skill you're specialized in, and the skill list will have them. So for instance, you could say, well, since this is an example character I did, you could say, all right, I have infosec of 80. I'm going to buy a specialization. I have a specialization in brain hacking. That means when you're doing brain hacking, your infosec counts as 90, and that goes above that. So it's plus 10 when you do the specific thing that you do.
I'm going resources level fucking 4.
So here's the thing about the traits. I'm gonna be honest, most traits suck. They're not great. They're real. I mean, they've really
Common sense.
They've really softballed some of these.
Let me look at the traits.
They're more like, I guess, a little bit of spice for your characters.
Yeah, they help flesh your character out, but most of them are pretty like, okay, if you're like, gee, my will checks are a little low, but I want to be better at that. You could take the thing that gives you like plus 5 will check per level, resolve,
Occupant is like it's like something that it's like if you want it like Occupant's like if you want to like instead of just buying skill levels.
Yes, you could. Doesn't improve your skill levels because it says your check, so it improves your final check version. If you are from a capitalist or resource-driven society, resources is a must-buy trait. It's the only way you have money.
Composure.
Yeah, there's no longer a money system. Marth had to buy Psy. Are you buying Psy 1 or 2?
I think it says okay, let me double check
Yeah. But a lot of these are like really specific. Like, if any of you is going to do anything with drones, which I don't know if you are, you probably want to take Drone Affinity because it's cheap. And some of these are tied to your morphs, like you literally can't take them. They just come with certain morphs.
Yeah, makes sense.
But like, the rest are just like, if you're an animal handler, you should take animal empathy. Otherwise, nobody should ever take animal empathy because why?
Oh, cool! Digital speed that actually might be useful.
That's the thing. I'm pretty sure that comes with any infomorphs you buy. Period. So.
This is only with infomorphs, right?
Yeah, and it comes with your morph. So I'm pretty sure if you pick an infomorph body, you will get digital speed.
Okay.
As a bonus. Now the beautiful thing about Psi Camouflage and Psi Defense, you have to be an organic brain to take them. If you're a morph trade, but your ego can do it whenever. Anybody can take those. You can just have a brain that is good against Psi by default.
Common sense weirdly seems useful in a weird way, but like the maybe no.
I mean, here's the thing.
It depends on the GM.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It really depends on the GM. If it's like you get either two uses. One, you can if you're really stumped, you can ask the GM based on what I know. What the fuck do you want me to do here? Or the GM will give you the warning. You're about to do something really stupid. I do that anyway.
You do that already.
Yes, I already do the. Are you sure you want to push that button? Just because I don't like I'm not that kind of GM where I'm just like, oh shit, I hope they push that button and fuck everything up. It's
you don't want to we don't want to fuck up the game for you as much as you don't want us to fuck up the game for you.
Yeah,
I'm totally taking Stunning Looks 2 and Resources 4.
Well, double check if you need to buy Stunning Looks because you might buy a morph with it.
Oh, that's true.
But put a pin in that if you want.
I will put a pin in that.
And if you want more extra customization points, take negative traits. You can only take 6 points, I think? Yes. Ego traits, negative traits, you can only take up to 6 CP back. By the way, for my old-timers, here's another thing. I think I mentioned this to Lucky, but unless you take the dominant limb negative trait, everybody in the transhuman future is ambidextrous.
Cool. All hail future science.
Yeah, there's no need for the... Because in the old EP, you had to buy the ambidextry trait a lot to get all your limbs. Now it's just, like, assumed.
Well, I'm going to go with dominant limb because I'm probably not going to need, like, to dual-wield anything.
That's fair. That'll give you a point back.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about this off mic. Where is it? Real-world naivete. Might make sense for Axe's character and give him 2 points back because it's like...
I'm trying to find it. Yes,
yeah. Because you can, get confused about some real-life stuff because you're mostly socialized on computers and things. But yeah, obviously negatives are just like, they're negatives, they're gonna be bad. Right. Some of them you don't, like, never ever take bad luck. You cannot use pools to flip dice. Oh no.
Oh.
No.
Hell yeah.
Where do I put those traits?
Ego traits should be a list on the sheets.
I see it. Okay. So, real world. Just gonna put that there already, I guess.
Yeah. And that gives you 2.
I'm probably gonna 5 my points to. I'm also probably gonna put 5 of my points into. Is it cog? Should I do cog or do I guess I put it in int, so then it makes it all like my like.
Yes, if you spend 5 points to buy 5 more points of int, your int goes up, your int check goes up, and all your skills linked to INT go up.
And that means I'll have more extra skill points to put into another skill, which might be useful.
Let's see what traits we got.
So I think I'm going to take combat paralysis.
All right, so I'm also it gives me an extra language, so I'm just
going to be that character.
That's rough.
That was Marth's character. I mean, Marth was okay at that.
Well, as I said, like I have like a 20, like my will check's a 60. That's not bad.
Fair,
yes.
fair.
Whenever violent, surprise, or danger happens, makes a will check or you lose your action because you're like, ah!
It's like, shit!
Oh, well, you might as well go for all 6. Do you wanna buy a low level addiction?
Oh,
That's
Lord.
I already planned on it.
Yeah. So addictions are just a broad trait type now, so you can suffer from
What
addiction.
do I-
Level 1 is once per week, level 2 is 1 per day, level 3 is
What do I
every
wanna be
6
addicted
hours.
to?
Caffeine and
That's-
nicotine are the most common,
Yeah, no, let's see.
but
Well, I
it
don't
can
know.
be anything, like sex, gambling.
I already did sex.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Ooh, allies. Allies is a good one here. All right,
Yeah,
fine,
it can make sense.
Do I
for you.
want to do gambling? Nah.
So allies is an expensive trait, but you have a small team of allies who can assist you. Once per session, you get the equivalent of a moderate favor for free.
I also
5.
get 10 extra points to put anywhere. So let's see. Frey might be good.
Yep. Excuse me, I coughed.
Frey might be good to put there. So
Yep.
Addiction.
Marth's already did his thing. So, yeah, I would say, like, if you're concerned about any of your stat checks, those traits are okay. Like, for 3 points, you can get a plus
actually, I should probably
15.
I could put 10 perceive because then I'd have
Yeah, that probably makes
then
sense.
I'd get I'd have 60 perceive.
If you are a punchman, lethal gives you, because there's no damage bonus anymore, but you can buy the lethal trait for 1 CP and get plus 1d6 in melee.
Can someone remind me if we ever actually use the distracted penalty on perceived tests? I'm looking at situational awareness. Yeah,
If it
that's
came
kinda
up, we would.
metagaming.
If I was like, no,
Okay.
dude, you're totally distracted.
All right.
Actually, I think I'm gonna put 10 in Frey, so they'll have 30 in Frey.
That's fair.
So and then I already have you guys have 25 in. I already have 50 perceive. Which is
Actually,
okay.
what social drugs are there? Maybe I'll just be addicted to a social drug.
There's a lot. There are a lot of drugs in Eclipse Phase.
I also get a fourth language. So actually, let's think about those.
Let's see here. Where are the... Let's see, gear guide. That's what I'm looking for. Melee wear. Beam weapons!
I still have 17 points. I think I'm okay. So,
Augmentations. Social augmentations. Fuck yeah, social augmentations. Body sculpting. Booyah!
No, don't worry, we'll get there.
Yeah, I know.
situational awareness.
Oh god, scorchers. Let's see.
So,
here we go, drug.
Well, patron is well, actually, it's not a negative trait, but patron is expensive, but that's like you have somebody
Spatial
who's got your back,
visualization, I like
and you
that.
can get some shit done.
Spatial visualization. I like that actually.
Spatial awareness. It's fun. If you want to be resistant to fear tests or fear effects, stalwart is great.
Spatial visualization. Maybe.
Yeah, spatial awareness can work. 3D and visualization. That can be for stuff like navigation, VR design. Heck, it could probably be like free fall in certain cases.
Or I guess surgery.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a minor addiction to juice.
Well, juice is loose.
Mhm.
I mean, I assume fruits are not.
No, literally, there's a drug
Is it-
called juice.
Yeah, it's a powerful antidepressant. Plus 30 on checks versus fear or emotional manipulation. And enhanced behavior. Happy. 3 for the duration.
Which means you literally can't not be happy. If anything
Yes.
is able to
Is it-
make you unhappy, your brain starts breaking. You take stress.
Is it literally it's literally like joy from We Happy Few?
I
Yes.
think so. Yes, if it's a real fucking strong antidepressant.
Hey, I need something to fight off the corpo monotony, alright?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you could.
As long as not everyone's taking it.
You
Holy
could be-
fuck, I do not want any of these negative traits.
Oh yeah, no, they're not great.
Fucking awful.
No.
Oh, jeez.
Well, actually, you know what? Maybe I won't have them. Let me just look through these fucking... Let me look through these negative ones, because I want to max out. I'm gonna
Oh, and
min-max
Marth's
that
already-
shit.
Marth's already picked out his size lights. That's good.
He's working. He's going. He's going.
Stab, heightened awareness. That's great. Psi
I'm
armor,
actually...
predictive boost. Sense
I
infection.
actually need to put a bit of thought into how I spend the rest of my customization points, as well as doing my starting morphing gear. So I might
Let's
have
see,
to do that
where-
later after I leave. But how many points are we getting for morphing gear?
Okay, so for gear, for morphs, we're gonna do the usual 6 morph points.
I'm
And
just
then
gonna go with Calf. Fuck it.
for-
Fuck it. I'll just do drugs on the side.
For gear, the usual gear budget is 20 GP gear points.
Alright.
Which we will probably do that. I don't know if I was gonna ask if tonight you guys wanted to get that out of the way or not. If you're gonna go anyway, I'll just tell you it's 20. And
I'm
you
just
can
gonna
spend
pick
it
my
later.
motivations now, though.
Sure, go for it.
I still have 15
Yeah,
points. So I can't put a bunch of things in there.
Yeah. It can spend pretty fast if you want it to, or not. Actually, let me double check. Is there a max at Ego Flex? Rather than 3, okay.
How does EcoFlex work?
Okay, so we have the pools. Flex. There's the 3 pools, Vigor, Moxie. What's the cog one? Insight, that's right. You can spend these on certain rolls to do certain things. The most common is you can spend them to flip a dice roll. So it's a percentile system. So say you rolled a 71. You can spend a point of something to flip that to 17. You pass. You can also do some other stuff in it, which we'll get in if we talk about more mechanics. But Flex is the universal point. You can spend it on any type of roll to flip, to get bonuses, to do stuff like that. You can also spend it to do little narrative things. Pools are usually derived from your morph, and then some other implants and stuff you have. Like, for instance, Marth's character has somatic control, so he gets, because of his brain powers, he gets +1 vigor all the time. But Flex is the universal RNG fixing pool, and you can have up to 3. So if you have points to spare, you can dump 4 points and get your maximum ego flex. So you always have 3 points to manipulate your probabilities.
Also, I get an extra language, so Hindi might be good.
Hindi could be good.
Hindi is really nice. Anyone have Arabic?
There's also a lot of Indians.
I don't have
yes.
Arabic either. I could get that too.
I don't have Arabic.
Arabic's
All I
also
have-
really good. Honestly, it's kind of
All
a...
I have is English and
English, Galavaska, Mandarin.
Like any of those could make sense. They're all really popular. You could do.
I'll get Hindi because.
Okay, so...
I still have 15 points, so let's see.
Alright, pick
I
my,
mean, like if you wanna be a real nerd, you could buy superior numeracy for +10 on math tests.
Is that 10 points? Seriously?
It's 2 points for +10 per level, so you could get 4 and get a +20 on no or technicals.
Alright, I picked my 3 motivations.
I don't see the point because I have I'm pretty high in most of my technicals. Like the
That's
lowest
fair.
I have is like a 45.
That's alright.
Alright, so I'm trying to figure out if I want any more positives because honestly, level 4 resources is pretty fucking dope.
Actually,
Yeah, you're pretty good. Like, let me see. What else?
There's resources on this list.
Do you... It's alphabetical. Pain tolerance doesn't make sense. You're a big scaredy baby.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming your sav check is already pretty good.
It's at 20.
I mean, you could spend 2 points to get a +10 to that. To get
Let's do that's
the
the
sav checks, the empathy trait.
You know, that sounds good. I think I might get
Hyperlinguistics could work. That's +10 per level to INT test to decipher spoken language. Like, I only speak 2 languages naturally, but I can learn new ones real good.
Really good.
Composure might be interesting.
Yeah, composure is if you want to have your brain break less. It doesn't improve your stress test, it just gives you more...
I'm probably going to be the one, like, examined.
Yeah, I should also mention, lucidity, we're going to get to derived stats in a second, that's the next step. Lucidity is your sand stat.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bata plus the mark of independence, plus worker state.
I
assume these are all pluses, Ron?
Yeah, those are all pluses.
Okay.
So 13, but I think I'm going to do composure. I'm going to do composure because I think I'm going to be the one that's actually examining a lot of the weird biological horrors, just so we understand what the fuck we're looking at.
Yeah.
So I need to be able to, like, take it.
No, that's a fair one. In that case, you might also consider resolve, which improves your will check.
Probably, yeah. Because I only have 15 will. Normal.
I still want to probably save my 2 CP just in case. Wait, for striking looks, just in case. But let me see.
Yeah, morphing gear is the next step. You got 6 morph points. They're all in the cheat sheet, all the morphs, so you don't have to scroll through the book in like 50 million ways. The default for social characters is a...
No, I could totally get that answer.
Is the Sylph, which is 4 morph points.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, no, that doesn't... I just realized that doesn't come with it by default, so you should probably buy those points of striking looks. Interesting. I didn't realize they didn't come with it by default, so yes, if you want to buy striking looks, you spend the points now.
Alright.
So I could get... Interesting, I also could get situational awareness to go for real and naivete, which, like, they kind of counteract each other.
I'll go to self-morph.
Interestingly.
Actually, I'm going to change all my motivations. That's a little redundant, so let's... Remove worker state.
I should probably get resolve. I should probably get resolve 3. I think.
If you got the points to spend, and you're not like I need more skills.
I have 13 points left.
Yeah,
so...
if you're like if you don't want to get more skills or anything.
I mean, like, I think I'm okay.
No, that's fair. That's totally fair.
I could just get bodies with proper skills. Because, like, all the ones I'm missing are more, like, physical skills.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I can get body based.
Well, listen, there's literally a where for that. You can buy Skillware and Skillsoft.
Yeah, and I'll probably be really good at understanding which ones are actually good for it.
Where my fucking striking looks go.
I mean, Ron, you could always take a minus motivation. You could be, like, down with the Planetary Consortium in specific.
Oh, no, I already threw it in.
Okay, that's it.
Not the PC specifically, because that's a little narrow in scope.
13, let's see, then that's 6.
I have 10 left.
Minus 7, so okay, 13 points left with
Right,
resources 4, striking looks 2, empathy 3.
Can I be allowed to have enough morph points to pick a Reaper?
No.
So question. So
you cannot be a Cowboy Reaper with 8 laser guns.
So if I got resolve 3, that means if I have a check of 45, it means I have a check of 60 now?
Yeah. That would be plus
cool.
15 total, so yeah, it buffs your
Alright,
check
cool.
to
Then I
60.
have a will check of 60, so I think I'll be the one that they'll be gazing into the abyss and being able to look at the wave you guys. It's okay, we're fine, we're good.
No. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's like, hey nerd, science this. Did he go crazy? No, we're okay.
You probably shouldn't, but like, I'm okay.
Do I want
Super
to bump
evil.
up my fucking reflex and psalm to 15? That's
a lot of points, but if you literally don't have anything else to spend your points on, go for it. Go nuts.
No. Actually, I'm gonna be smart, and I'm gonna start dumping points into fucking rep.
I'm right now.
Right.
Let's see here.
I'm picking my morph already.
That's fair.
Fury.
What remaining more points I can use for my morph?
Should I keep some of these points for morph or what?
Jesus.
No, you get more points as a separate budget.
What about, like, positive morph traits?
If you want them, you can, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what body you're going for. So, like, if you have a morph in mind, feel free if you have the extra points to separate it. So, what was that you were saying, Marth, about your morph points?
Yeah, I have 2 points left over after future.
Okay, so you can either cash those out for. Okay. Actually, this is a good point. When I forgot this. Actually, technically, Lucky, you don't have to spend those 2 points on stunning looks now. That comes out of your NP with your morph points. So if you spend 4 points on a Sylph and spend 2 points on striking looks, that's all your morph points.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So Marth, if you don't want to add morph traits with your spare points, you can either turn them into extra gear. So basically you can get 2 minor complexity gear or 1 moderate gear, or you can turn it into a extra point of flex for your morph.
Sorry, this is with leftover morph points?
Yeah, this is leftover morph points, which if you pick a Fury, you don't have any.
Yeah. Or actually pick...
If you were a Sneakman,
it might be a ghost as well. I could go both ways, really.
Yeah, well, they're both 6, so... Now, obviously, you can get some of that back by taking negative traits, but...
Alright.
Yeah, I'm not really into that.
I'm thinking of, I should probably, like, give myself 2 more, increase my flex by 2, so that I have 6 points left, then get, like, increase, like, one of my aptitudes by 5 again, and then
sure.
a single point rate or something.
Oh, great, now I got 15 points still. God damn it!
Actually, I should do that. First, I should see what skills are actually worth getting for at least, like, 2-3 points.
Yeah,
Actually,
double check what you got left over.
Pick that
Let's see
ghost.
what, like, actual, like, traits are worth.
I should probably pick some more languages, actually, now I think about it.
Well, you do only speak 2.
Yeah.
Alright, folks, I'm gonna bounce. Thank you for being around. Yeah.
Hey,
next
well,
time.
you got off your butt and helped organize this, so thanks to you for organizing it. Alright, so he's gone.
Alright, later, y'all.
Oh, Danger Sense is interesting.
We'll figure out, like, actual play dates when we get this all settled.
Yeah.
I'll get fucking hyper whatever linguistics. Why not?
Sure. That's got 3 levels, so... If
Oh,
you've
shit,
got
man.
points to burn, go whole hog.
Yeah.
I should probably do Direction Sense.
That can work.
If you
That's
want.
all. The thing about Direction Sense is that can also be aware, so you can just plug that into your fucking body.
Oh, okay.
Right now,
Danger Sense?
That can work.
Let's see here. Hyperlinguistics.
Contact. I don't think I have a contact.
Fuck it, why not? Hyperlinguistics 3, going full hog. Hyperlinguistics 3, that's number 3, so I'm down to 12. Let's see here. Let's see here, 12. Let's pick 2 more languages.
Also, for the purposes, Ron is saying that he will probably do some sketches. So if you figure out a physical description of your character, you're going to write it down in the chat.
Alright.
And I will totally steal them and turn them into bed images. Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to get mad at me at that because our videos are monetized. On the other hand, this is an actual play, so it won't make any fucking money. But...
Sadly.
I don't know. I'll have to talk to him about that because I don't know how he... As an artist, I don't want to, like, shenanigans him, but...
Drone affinity would be interesting. It's like...
Yeah, so if any of you are going to use drones, buy drone affinity. So you don't have to make brain checks.
Like, what skills should I have for drones?
That would be... interface or pilot.
I got interface 70, so yeah.
Yeah, you could be a drone guy.
I'll get that, because that's a 1 point, so I could then, like, get myself maybe, like, some extra ref, so I actually either, like, just increase my gun, or just
where is the language guide in fucking EP?
So under languages in the step, it's got the list of the easy ones.
I gotta hope we remember what all these, like, traits do later on.
Well, so, if they have a test effect, that's why there's the other bonus column. So, for instance, if you had something that was literally a bonus, like if you had animal empathy, for instance, you could write down +10 trait in there.
Okay.
And like, did Marth pick anything that gives him checks? Yes, he has a +10. So, not that he's using this version of the character sheet, but for example, if he was, Marth could write down +10 perceive, +10 in perceive test psi, because he's got a psi slight for it, or chi.
Naivete, special, like, visualization, composure,
was that key?
Drone affinity.
I think it was key.
+5.
Psyche, yeah.
+5.
Keyblade!
Psyche.
God damn it. It's
Now we're back.
always...
Alright, I have 5 points left, because I got drone affinity and 2 reflex, so 5 more points.
So yeah, that's either, like, up your aptitudes by a reasonable 5, you could buy 25 worth of skill points if you wanted them. That's insane. Like, the package builds are pretty good, but then they give you these 20 customization points, and honestly, they're pretty free. Mostly because most traits are pretty useless.
I think the ones I picked were, like, they're just nice
like,
little...
hyper-specific.
Yeah,
but
like...
they give you enough points, especially with taking a few negative traits, you can get those back.
Okay, let's add Japanese, French, and... Yeah, let's just add Japanese and French. Why not?
I need to look for all these morphs, because I'm actually curious.
Yeah, so there are descriptions, and most of them have pictures in the book. But I collected them all together because, boy howdy, Morphs is a long section.
The pictures look cool.
So, well, they actually produced a book in first edition called the Morph Recognition Guide, which was literally a compiling of all the morphs they had printed, because there were a lot, with artwork. So you could tell what they looked like, because that was a problem.
For those that are visual learners, they have something. Yeah. Yeah, I still have 5 points left, so let's see.
So
it's like all my skills are like cognition, intellect, and then I have like some ref skills just because I need to be able to like shoot a gun and dodge.
3,
That's
6.
So
I wonder if I should like up my will, but I don't know, what are any like will based skills? Okay, it's only psi though.
Yeah, only psi is will based. Will is mostly important because that's what your derived stat for lucidity is, and also what your stress test is your will test basically.
It's why I ended up just getting the resolve, just as like side as like mental defense.
Empathy 3, linguistics 3. Okay, that's fucking.
Also, because I have reflex, what could I use? What could I usually use that for?
Okay, let me find that. That'll be good to read out, but it's in here somewhere. Isn't that in the core mechanics?
Oh, it's actually the maximum. Actually, that's a maximum actually I can get. Just
yes.
That's just 4 points.
Pools.
Though.
Okay, pools. So flex is the wild card pool. So first off, any pools can be used too if you're using them for their appropriate skill. You can spend a point of a pool to ignore all modifiers to a test. So you can just be like, no pluses, no minuses. You can add +20 before a roll to the test. You can flip the D100 roll for a point. So 83 becomes 38, for example. You can upgrade a success to a superior success. which is a rule. Basically, if you roll 33 or 66 and still pass, that's a superior success. You can, after roll, downgrade a critical failure to a regular failure. If you're like, well, I'm going to fail, so I'll fail.
I'm just gonna check. I'm just gonna check what like traits there are because I know I have free flex, so it might be useful.
Yeah,
but,
pools are on page 34, by the way, if anyone wants to look that up. But flex can also specifically be used to introduce an NPC, introduce an item, define the environment, or define a relationship. So it's the narrative pool where you can just be like, I want there to be a gun here or a window, and then like, well, I didn't describe that there wasn't a window here, so now there's a window. That kind of stuff.
All right.
Which freaked out a lot of people when the beta for this first came out. They were like, gasp, narrative influence in my Spaceman RPG. And I was like, no, it's fine. That's how pretty much everybody does it these days.
Aren't you guys like, aren't all of your bodies like half digital anyway?
Well, yeah, no, it's EP1 was very crunchy, so there was a certain amount of, I think, old school. It's basically a weird percentile hack of Shadowrun, is how this game started.
Yeah.
Literally, the guys who wrote EP used to write for Shadowrun.
I can see that.
But they split you to do their own thing, and now they're posting in studios.
Oh my god, Octopus, engineering, cook, and chef and technician. That image is amazing.
Let's see here. Do I just want to spend... yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna spend like 8 of my points to get like a fuck ton of rep points. I'm gonna bump my corp rep up to 60 and my G rep and my I rep up to both to 40.
Okay. Alright, you are rep man. Or rep lady.
Okay, so
Rep lady.
Go ahead and check.
Should I get side defense and side camouflage?
If you want to. That could make sense. Okay, so if you end up sleeved in a synthmorph or are an infomorph, you are not biological and thus are generally immune to psi, but it could make sense. Also, Exurgents are weird and sometimes they can ignore that rule.
Yeah.
I can get, like, because I have, like, 5 points left, so I can just do that and get to have, like, 1 point left or something.
Alright, I have 2 points left, and I'm just gonna up my flex to 2.
And then I give myself situational awareness, so it's like, I am an AI, I am not technically able to be distracted.
Alright, I've spent all my points.
Alright.
My custom points.
So...
Actually, I think I'll do that. I'll get the side thing, just so, like, I can't just be randomly attacked by a psionic creature.
Sure. And that might make sense why you've been... Despite the fact that you were clearly not a field agent before, you have been bundled into Firewall as a field agent because, hey, this AI brain guy is resistant to psi.
I am a scanner.
Okay, so now we're at step 11. By the way, Marth, your microphone's far away from your face again.
Sorry.
No problem.
Just put these down and
constantly audio
myself 5 points.
So the infomorph guy, Axo.
Did you say X?
Are you being slaved in like a morph, or is it still...
Well, we're not quite to that step yet, but I was just gonna really quick run over derived stats. Because technically, Marth, you're tangling with step 11, or step 12. So step 11 is derived stats. Basically, everybody make sure you've got your initiative, INIT, down. That's your ref plus your int divided by 5. So for initiative, you roll a d10 and add your INIT. Your aptitude check is equal to the aptitude times 3. Your lucidity, which is your stress levels, your SAN, basically, is will times 2.
Okay, trauma traits.
Yeah, trauma threshold is lucidity divided by 5. So if you take more than that amount of stress, you get a trauma and bad stuff happens. Your insanity rating is lucidity times 2. If you go below your insanity rating, you are permanently crazy.
Right.
If you go below your lucidity, you're just catatonic and non-functional.
Okay.
And if you are an async, you would calculate your infection rating, but I believe Marth has already done this.
Okay, so ref plus int.
Infection rating of 20.
My initiative is 4.
Plus I have dominant
Where do I put my
strength, so I want that to be higher, so I'm sort of playing...
If you're using Omega sheet, it's underneath your aptitudes where it says...
it's next to flex. Okay, then I have initiative. I could have gotten myself initiative 8, but I guess initiative 7, because I got like some more traits.
Yeah, you can get some other stuff to bump your...
I got situational awareness, side effects.
Oh wait, hang on. Yeah,
and honestly, you're not a majority combat character, so it's okay if your initiative is only in the middle.
I'm only like initiative 7, but like I have good int, so
it's alright.
Hey, mine's only initiative 5, yo.
Marth, what's your INIT? Yeah, 8 with your plus 2. This is the thing I love about psi characters. On the one hand, they can do a lot of weird problems and things. Like, because you can take, like, Grok, or Marth has sense infection, so he can just be like, dear brain, is this guy an Exurgent? Which is great. I love to use side characters for that. He can literally just go, this is an Exurgent. But also, you can really get some fucking bonuses, like +2 initiative, +10 to perceive tests for threats and areas, fucking Psy Stab.
Alright, so my composure is like, okay, so I have, it's will times 2, 30 for lucidity. That'll be 35, so 35 lucidity. I also have...
That's a pretty robust lucidity.
Trauma threshold is
Yeah, trauma threshold is your lucidity divided by 5.
So then it'll be 8, because then it's also because I get +1 because of that, so 35...
And IR is times 2.
I probably should put more on my will, because it's, I guess, like, composure only increases my check, not same for my lucidity.
I mean, hey, it's still good.
And then
20 is like 20 is like the beginning base, man. Like, I mean, or what is
15 would be 15 will is average, so that would be 30 lucidity, and then 60
5,
IR.
And then my trauma threshold gets +1, and then my sanity rating gets +10.
Yes.
So that'd be 40 sanity rating.
Actually, I love how your whole thing is like, I just don't want to die or go crazy.
No, it's like I'm the one that's going to be like.
Well, yeah, he's made sense because he's like, I'm your research boy. You're gonna make me poke things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I need to be conscious, so I can actually like when I scan the thing for you, we like look at the giant weird contorted like psi mass, and I need to actually understand how it's biologically functioning so we can kill it.
Oh yeah, no, like he's. I know what scenario we're running first. I'm not going to say the name for the sake of spoilers, but I know what scenario we're running first. You're going to ask him to do a lot of what the fuck am I looking at, and he's going to have to roll some sand checks.
Suffer.
It's like
that's okay. I also know that there will
like...
be points where there might be big gang boss fights where you're literally going to have to make your will check and or be like Ozakabahime and sit. I'm going to go sit in the corner for a minute. Hold on.
Oh look, I have an insanity rating of 80, which is not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's above average. That was the other thing that was weird about side characters is they were. I like that they did infection rating as a standalone stat because it used to be that ironically side characters were the most stable because will was your core stat. So
yeah, the most mentally hardened.
Well, also here's another thing that's different in EP2 is Morphs used to give you bonuses to your aptitudes. So like if you were like you're focused on a cog, you would pick a cog-based morph, which would give you another +10 to cog. So your cog would technically be 30 while you were in that body. So asyncs would usually pick a morph that gave them +10 to will. So they would be will 30, which meant that all their stats were at like 9. They would be like 90 on their sand check.
And they have certain different like in the morph you have a max of 40, but in the
yeah, I'm glad they did away with that.
Yeah, that was...
So, Aptitude's hard cap is 30, and that is what they call post-human. That is like, you are beyond the human level. If you can actually min-max your ass up to 30 points in an Aptitude.
I remember one of the stats in the old book for AGI, enemy AGI was 15, the number of stats, and so this was it was a Titan AGI.
Okay, so we were at derived stats. Now we're at picking morphs and gear. So
I'm going to let you know. I'm picking my slip morph at 4. I'm using my 2 points to get 2 levels of stunning looks.
Yes, hello. I am pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, I guess I should start looking at the morphs.
Yeah, you look at morph list.
Mm-hmm.
Marth picked Futura, which is pretty much the default for the Lost. So
yeah,
you put a couple. So I think what you were asking earlier was you were going to ask if Axe was actually going to be an infomorph or not. Because you need to decide if you want to buy
if he was going to be in another morph.
Yes, because you were thinking about buying a Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
So
I
we'll
don't know
find
what
out
that
now.
means.
Well, so infomorph means you are a completely digital body. You have no physical body, which means you need to be hosted on a computer.
Alright.
But
there's no art for an Exalt.
But that's the thing. If you're in a Ghost Rider thing, you're going to be writing backseat.
Yes, you write. A Ghost Rider module is a implant that literally lets you carry another ego with you, usually an AGI. So that's usually how infomorph characters get around is one of the other players buys the Ghost Rider module, and you get to hang out in their peripheral.
Yeah.
The turret looks cool, at least, but...
I should probably have differentiated these a little bit more. But so the first blob alphabetically in morph points is, biomorphs. That means you're pure biologic. There's a note if you wanted to add a cyberbrain, you can do so for 1 MP because it gives you cyberbrain, access jacks, mnemonics, and puppet sock.
Are hybrinoids meant for space travels?
Yes,
like,
hybrinoids are for long range space travel.
Okay. Is that the art of the thing, or is that a mention? Try to say what this art what it corresponds to each.
I believe they. Yeah, no, that was the hybrinoid art in the old morph guide. So yeah, that's a hybrinoid.
What the heck? They don't actually have an art for the Sliff morph.
Yeah, they don't have art for the Sliff, or the Menton, or the Excel.
Does Excel not? Yeah, okay. It doesn't, I guess, technically. Well, actually, yeah, no, it does, because that would be a splicer and Exalt up there. There's no flat art. Or at least the art here wasn't for the flat before. I also don't like that they seem to be leaning away from Rusters being red-skinned, but whatever.
Who? What?
Ruster morphs. In EP1, they were usually shown and described as having a literal red skin tone. Not a metaphorical red, but literally because you can be whatever color you want. Rusters are the Mars-adapted morph, so they were.
I mean, it would be red because it's red terrain, so.
Yeah. Bouncers are the common space-adapted morph. Now, I will say this, there's no reason an AI can't be in a bio body. That's not as common, but I don't think there's any actual traits that adjust that, so. If you want to be on a cheap, you can be a pod. Those are basically, pod people. They are vat-grown biological androids, so they are at least 50% cyberware. They don't have a biological brain because those take a long-ass time to clone. And they're kind of stitched together that way. So, AIs usually like cyberbrains, but cyberbrains can also be hacked, so yeah.
Uplifts.
Yeah. You would probably not be an uplift as an AGI. You don't want to double down on your societal prejudices.
I'm just looking at this oh wow, Neo.
Not that uplifts are not one of the most interesting fun things about this setting, but you are already an AI who is prejudiced against. You don't necessarily need to be
I would say the Neo Neanderthal thing is weird but interesting.
All uplifts. Dude, there are fucking uplifted octopi. Do you know how much of a terrible idea that is?
The Neo Octopus is actually really cool.
It's one of the most iconic things about Eclipse Phase, but if you know shit about octopuses, you're like, this is a bad idea.
It's only good if you're, in a ship doing technician roles or something.
No, octopi are fucking crazy. They're, fast-learning, stone-cold killers of the sea.
They can also compress themselves to fit in, a store.
That's why the Neo Octopus morph comes with limberness level 2. They are flexible. So synthmorphs are robotic bodies. They are all synthetic. And they tend to have weirder shapes, like dragonfly, slitheroids, arachnoids. If you ever wanted to play a Tachikoma, you could be an arachnoid.
Actually, Marth, didn't you play a fucking Tachikoma when we did our fucking Earth game?
I think for the second one.
Yes, he has played a arachnoid before.
And I think I was an infomorph in that game, and I think it was totally not fit for that game either.
Reapers
I don't know. I thought it was cool that we could
literally just that thing from XCOM.
No, yeah, Reapers are murder balls. You also can't be a Reaper because they cost 12 morph points. We're only at 6.
Okay, you have to build one or get one.
Yeah, you have to either buy one in game or your GM has to say, "Hey, we're doing a high level campaign with lots of bullshit. You can be Reapers."
Okay. Steel morph looks cool, but I don't know.
It would make more sense.
Actually,
Savant, I like Savant actually.
It could work. I think that would make sense for your character. Be a robotman. Because that's the thing. If you're a roboto, where is it? Synthmorphs have the following characteristics. They lack biological function, so they are immune to toxins and pathogens. Power is not a problem for them. They don't need to worry about breathing, eating, defecating, aging, sleeping, or any other stuff. Synthmorphs have a pain filter. You can turn off your pain receptors to ignore the effect of one wound. So wounds are a thing that when you take physical damage, you get wounds, you get penalties.
I believe their durability is ×2.
Yes, they are tougher. Unarmed strikes by shells inflict 2d6 damage. They have higher durability. They have built-in armor, and they have a higher death rating. They are immune to shock effects. There's no nervous system for you to tase. and they have stronger range of environmental endurance. They basically treat as having cold tolerance and vacuum sealing already.
And then, like, I'm still technically, like, I still have I assume I can still be side.
Yes, certain Exurgents can still affect those with cyber brains. Like, your normal side buddy over there, whatever Marth's character's name is going to end up being, he can't psi you, but, yeah, freaky Exurgents break the rules, so they sometimes get to psi people in cyber brains and with cyber brains.
I think having side effects and side camouflage still works if, like...
Yeah, no, it could still come up.
Because it's like, there's still such a thing as, like, you're fighting a giant psionic monster that could just attack you anyway, the psionic thing.
Yeah. So let's see, that would give you just the default wear, it looks like, because Cyberbrain comes with most of that by default. You get also a cortical stack and LiDAR, so you get lasers.
I guess Savant, like...
Alright, so that's 4 MP, so you still have 2 MP left over. You could buy Morph traits with that if you wanted.
Do you guys have any suggestions?
For what?
I'm gonna do Savant. Any ideas for Morph traits?
How many points you got left?
2.
You could also turn those into gear points, basically, and get, like, mods.
Yeah, I'd say probably, Yeah, no, nothing comes immediately to head. Let's see here.
The Arper synth is kind of creepy.
Well, the default synth morph, yeah, that's the thing. They took it out in this, but it used to be there was a trait called Uncanny Valley, and some morphs would just get penalties to social skills because they looked weird. So the synth was a morph like that in the first one. So they were deliberately, this art was drawn to be kind of creepy and unsettling. Whereas morphs like the Galatea or the Steel are designed to actually interact with people, so they have more defined faces.
Or the Savant, where it's like...
The Savant is like, we don't even care. This isn't a human face. Like, this is all brain power.
It's not a human face, but like, it's the humanoid body. So
yes. You need a humanoid body because that's what all your neurology is adjusted for, but you don't need a face. All this is brain case.
Or like, yeah. Oh my god, I could literally just do like Neo Emil face. It's like just like a
just paint a little face.
Or
Jesus.
It's like, it depends on who my boss is, because it's like, it might be just like the thing they bought me in. Or the thing they smuggled me in.
Well, I'm just looking at resources and finds like 3 and 4. I can literally just spend 2 of my points and a point with a flex. Just say, yeah, I have a moderate gear item just now.
Yes, that is the thing. You bought 4 points of resources. You have money. You have loads of fucking money. You have fuck you money. Like, your great grandpappy was Elon Musk or something. Wait, not was, is. That's the thing about the transhuman future. All these rich assholes are still alive.
A level 4 character is rich and might own a small private hab in their own show.
Oh boy, howdy are they?
They are. They totally are.
Apparently, I might just have my own small little hab, and we all can come over and fucking party. Why the fuck not?
So can I suggest an idea that, like, I'm your personal secretary? Or
well, here's the thing. You guys are from completely different polities, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, I'm over from fucking Venus, man. What was your...
He's from Titan. You're from around
over
Saturn.
by Saturn, my dude.
You're a different... but... If you want to talk about, like, organizational goals, yes, you could easily be assigned to the team to do stuff. Nobody took commander, so...
Yeah.
I was just saying who's going to be, like, team leader.
We'll decide. You guys might be a decentralized anarcho-communist terrorist cell.
Yeah. We might not be a leader, just not be someone who might yell stuff.
But honestly, that's probably okay, because your character would just be, like, helping everybody. You need something?
Yeah, it's like, I usually just have, like, I just see my characters, like, what do I like to have someone to, like, as, like, some form of authority, like, a structure, just to, like, who do I refer to? Who do I tell these things?
I feel like you could turn that into a fucking negative, like, enhance, like, enforced behavior servitude.
We could, but it's probably too late for that. By the way, we have been yammering for 2.5 hours almost.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
No, this is expected. I thought this would be fast. I was dumb.
Again,
I calculated all the options, but, man, I was bad at math.
I don't know, actually, like, considering, I think we're going through this pretty quickly.
That's fair. We could be going through this fast for a session 0.
Alright, so order from a
Morphs, so your Savant. So basically, in your little, it's at the bottom of your skills, because that can change.
Durability,
So you write down your durability, that's your HP, all that stuff. You have 3 points of Insight, no points of Moxie, which are the social pool. You have 1 point of Vigor and 1 point of Flex. And these are tied to your Morph.
Alright, what Vigor next?
So you come with all your wear. Most of that's pretty standard.
7
so for you in the audience, Cortical Stack is literally from the Takeshi Kovacs series, aka Altered Carbon, which has a really good Netflix adaptation, and you should totally watch sometime if you need some framework for EP. It was a large inspiration for the game. The original novels, anyway.
Children get killed, get stuck in bodies full of ill people for some reason.
But, the cortical stack is your body backup drive. It's made of diamondoid computing materials. If you die, but your body isn't completely totaled, they can recover your stack and re-sleeve you from the moment you died.
Okay, so... traits, exotic mythology.
Yeah. That probably doesn't matter for now, but it might. That's for...
I'm just gonna list it.
Yeah, re-sleeving. When you're calculating your armor later, you should know that you have a base light frame armor of 6'4". The first number is energy armor, I think, and the second is kinetic. But yeah, so that's the thing about synth morphs, you're inherently armored. You have access jacks, which means you have fiber optic plugs in your neck, like Ghost in the Shell. You have the cyber brain.
Let's hope I'm less hackable.
Well, your infosec is really good. You're pretty hard to hack. That's the thing. Infosec is also rolled to defend against hacking.
Do you ever try to hack a savant? That's a question.
So you have the mnemonics, which means you have digital memories. You have the puppet sock, so your body can be remote piloted. Mesh inserts is another pretty standard one. That's your brain computer. These are all in the gear guide. The most interesting thing that's not necessarily standard is you also have an added sense LiDAR, so you have laser imaging.
Cool.
Pick oracles, that's a good one. So let's see. Let me go back to my... Actually, I can just check the cheat sheet as opposed to scrolling up. So let's see. Turn in steps, pick a morph, pools, extra gear converting. So everybody should pick their motivations. Well, Axis Fish is writing his stuff down. Where's motivations? Here it is. Nope, that's not yet. That's the expurgated version. Where's it in the step list? Step 13, motivations. Okay. So basically, you pick your motivations. They help you cope with stuff and figure out stuff. You write them with a plus or minus. One of them should be to your faction. But if you don't have a faction, and it can be anything, you could just write this as plus faction interest, or it could be it could be more specific, like Ron wrote specifically Free Mars, but that would be plus pursuing interest anyway.
Oh wait, I still have points for 2 morph traits, so
or you could turn that into extra gear points for gear.
Is that just like a pool?
Yes.
For later?
Yeah, we'll discuss that in a second, because that's technically the last step.
Okay,
I figure out what I want for motivations here.
Right now.
So your faction motivation could easily be like plus Venusian sovereignty. That makes sense for your character.
Okay, so let's see here.
You're already wealthy, so I don't know if plus wealth works for you.
Yeah.
I'll consider the 2 points later. I'll worry about those
just
later,
jot down somewhere. You'll have an extra 2 GP, because there's other ways to get extras. Like, fuck, Lucky, how many extra gear points do you have from resources?
Right now, 5.
Yeah.
But it's I can get up to rare and restricted items.
Also, yes, yeah. So no, like you're pretty important. So let's see, creative expensive, create legacy could matter for your character, Lucky.
I'm just gonna...
Yeah, that could be interesting. Yeah, let's do that.
Alright, where were we? Okay.
Yeah, step 13, motivations. This is page 47 in the book. It's got a list of the examples.
Gear... I'll worry about the gear and morph traits after.
Yeah, we'll get to gear in a second, and we can do that on mic or off mic. I don't know. And like Marth's already looking at his gear pack, so we'll figure that out in a second.
For motivation,
expand influence.
So one of your motivations acts will be basically plus titanium interests. You should have already jotted that down. So, and then you've got an example sidebar for 2 more. Like a really easy one, it would be plus AGI personhood. I am a robot man. I am a person.
Yeah.
Venusian, sovereignty. Create legacy. Personal improvement, philanthropy. Nah.
And remember, these can be minuses. You could put minus find a tribe or find a purpose. No, fuck you. Nihilism all the way.
Is there one where it's like, I want to actually have actual connections with people?
Find a tribe. Plus find a tribe. Like, that's what that means. That's like, I want to find a group of people who I belong with.
It's less like a group of people and more of like, I just want to be actually able to connect with people that that have to be around.
Is there you could probably write that as something. There are some pluses like that.
Because I want to be like actually on good terms with the people I have to work with as the essentially.
You could do that as plus cooperation or something.
Yeah, plus cooperation. Where it's like I want to make them not die, and I want them to like not harm each other.
That sounds about right.
Cooperation.
Marth, how weird are your motivations?
I'm trying to figure this out because I'm
Okay.
I already said I wanted to kill all the other asyncs.
Minus find a tribe. No, I'm kidding. That would be a good example of the reverse of find a tribe. I have a tribe. I'm gonna fucking murder those guys. They suck. Actually, I don't know, Marth. That could be plus revenge.
It is plus revenge.
Yeah.
Take them both.
Plus, I have what. Actually, would I actually know my guy was created by Cognite?
Oh boy, yes, you would, because Cognite is after your ass.
What is Cognite?
Yeah,
Cognite is one of the hypercorps in the setting. They're one of the corporations. They started the Lost Project, which was, we're going to replace all those transhumans that died through simulspace time acceleration. We're going to raise an entire generation of people in 6 years, and it sucked.
Because it's like
they're part of the planetary.
Well, it
They're
started
part
with
of
just
the
basic bitch educational and child psychology errors, but also, yes, eventually all the lost children became psychics, so...
Is that where the Futura model came out of?
Yes.
It was designed for this?
The Futura model was built specifically for that.
Yes.
So, basically hypergrown?
Yeah, it was designed to be a morph that was resilient to trauma and could be perfectly fast-grown for digitally raised humans to slide right in. Yeah. You could write minus Cognite as a personal motivation.
Bodies. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Well, all bodies can be pretty fast-grown. A biomorph takes 1 to 2 years to reach adulthood in a fast-growing cloning vat. Pods take several months. Synthmorphs take literal days or hours because they're just robots you assemble.
There's pods.
So, another one that could work for you, Marth, could be plus or minus neurodiversity, because you're crazy. You could decide whether you want more crazy people or less crazy people.
What the fuck? There's a Bunny Skahawk in fucking FGO Arcade?
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
There's what now? God damn it, FGO Arcade. Why? Why you push this so hard?
Yeah, it's Steph was just complaining that, if a sweater gets there...
Hey, look, an arcade costume they'll never add. No, they're right.
It's also, by the actual official, Skahawk artist, who just does April Fools. It's not even... It's not even that well designed on it, but it's nice, I guess. Whatever, this is a distraction.
This is why I usually mute this channel, but Lucky must have checked it while we were talking about stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
I'm trying to think of my, I don't know, what does create legacy mean? Do I,
I mean, if you don't know what that means yet, that's perfectly fine.
Techno-progressivism?
Yes, so that's science will save us. We will keep iterating technology until we get better and better as people.
I would like to do scientific discovery or techno-progressivism, I guess.
Sure. Whichever one works for you.
I'll do techno-progressivism because it's technology should be improved to make life not as difficult.
I guess I'll pick personal career as my last one.
Yay, personal growth.
Okay, so I pick revenge plus neurodiversity minus.
And then you got a third free one, so
yeah, I know.
Let's see the third
should
one
I pick for? I need to figure out what my third one is that's not connected to the other two.
So
plus escape.
Yeah, plus escape, that could be one, but that might also be connected to his past.
Forget
past would be a fun one too if you wanted to go that route, but I like revenge better.
Revenge.
I want to do discover past because that's maybe want to go. That's
I don't know. Is your past really that
maybe
mystery? You didn't take edited memories, so
it's more of yeah. I just keep thinking of Swan Song, where it's the group in that discovered basically an AI on a ship, and they basically got, the group hacker basically unbroke it, and it became the second strongest AI in the galaxy.
Yeah, you're probably not that cool.
No, because it was also an NPC character, but it was basically the pet character who was the PCs.
Yeah. So, Martha, another thing you could do is plus autonomy. I just want to be me. Fuck the system.
Sure. I'm going to do that.
All right. Ron wrote his down. He changed one of them, but it was
What's open source mean?
exactly what you think it means. Open source tech.
It's pretty much just like, screw all these copyrights.
Galaxy.
I'm going to just give them.
Yeah. Do you know about open source stuff? Like, it's just open source programs, open source tech. Because remember, we live in the 3D fabrication future of Eclipse Phase, so it's like like a gun is a digital blueprint that you can assemble. You know, a tool is a digital blueprint you can assemble. So a lot of those are protected by DRM.
Because they kind of have to be.
Or they're not, because they're open source. And you would be from a pro open source polity, which is like, no, science is good, technology's fine.
We should be progressing. We should be like progressing our technology to like improve upon it to like make life better for everything.
Now, also as a socialist polity, it's also like, do you really need that extra feedstock to assemble a pancake maker? Can't you just make your own pancakes? And you're like, no, I need it. I need the pancake maker. Addiction,
Actually,
pancakes.
Actually, maybe it's a correct answer. I just want to go minus money. I just have this really bad habit of buying random ass shit somehow.
I mean, you probably grew up with a lot of money, so you just don't have financial restraints.
That'd be funny if you were a shopaholic. Do you want to make your addiction shopping?
Oh my god, yes.
So it's like you have to at least buy something once a week.
Yes.
So we
combat paralysis. I just saw a really good fucking weird thing. I'm gonna lose my turn as I stare at it.
Oh my god, there's a sick deal on Space Bay right now.
It's like, why would you need... It's not like, I don't know, but I might.
There's a flash sale on Space Amazon.
I already own like nanoweave scalpels just in case. Why did you buy?
Oh, this is why.
Why did you buy a knife set? It slices the dice. It makes julienne fries, guys. Do you even know what a julienne fry is? No, it sounds great.
This is what I just realized. This is why I'm fucking have knowledge in smuggling, black markets, and fencing.
That's great.
You were a shopaholic that went so deep that you just became a member of that society.
I love emergent character play. I think we're at final touches, so that'll be the point where you should probably roll your psi thing, Mr. Psy-Man.
I also need to use those 2 extra Morph points.
Oh well, we'll get to we will get to gear just about now if everybody's got their motivations sorted out.
I think I'll do self-reliance or something, or maybe.
Can I just do plus shopping as a motivation, or like plus stuff? Or
yeah, you could alter wealth to like plus material wealth or plus possessions.
Yeah,
those are just examples.
Yeah.
I need to look at where is the psi list?
Yeah, plus material possessions.
Very clunky.
I'm just gonna do personal improvement as well.
So plus Venetian sovereignty, plus material possessions, and plus personal career.
Plus titanium, plus corporation, plus techno-progressivism, and I guess...
Here we go, psi chapter. So, substrain. So you pick a negative trait, and you get a free slight, so you picked psi stab, you picked PTSD as your...
Yeah.
Okay.
1,000 yards there! 1,000 yards there!
Yep.
And then where is substrain?
Plus stability.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, okay, so
Plus self-reliance.
The effect of your influence effect takes place when you... Is that when you fail your roll? Every time you succeed in an infection test, you roll... Yeah, so basically, your beast substrain effect only kicks in when you fail a test.
Okay.
When the infection wings, it'll motivate you, so...
I only have 2, actually.
Yeah, so frenzy only happens in certain situations.
Okay, so fail test.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it could be that you instead get other stuff, like you could randomly get motivation plus no quarter, you don't flee to surrender, and don't show any mercy.
Oh, so it's just a roll sort.
Yeah, it's a d6 roll. Whenever your infection rating goes off. So that's what they replaced the strain system is like you can maybe take physical damage, but also you can modify your behavior or other stuff. So yeah, the beast substrain is all about physical violence. So for you guys, Marth's character might randomly roll enhanced behavior aggression, restricted behavior remorse, motivation plus domination, motivation plus no quarter, or frenzy. He can also gain restricted behavior. These are alternates. You might also restrict empathy. You might also enhance arousal, gluttony, or risk-taking. And you can gain potential motivations, cannibalism, claim territory, eradicate enemies, instill fear, or stalk prey.
Why did it have to be cannibals?
Well, that's the thing.
Well-
He literally has an alien space virus in his brain that gives him psi powers.
I know.
And so the beast substrain is literally, he is like part alien predator. And so
Okay.
if the infection wins in a conflict, it's entirely possible that those instincts will take over and he will get...
Should I buy injectable sedatives?
Maybe
Not
later.
is that I think there's a thing where you can turn like
Well, yeah, you can
chemicals
turn
into
anything into a
bullets.
dermal, but no, you can just
Yeah.
buy
Can
them
I
in
just get,
needles.
like, a sedative gun?
Yes, actually, you will get a gun and you can buy sedative bullets and just load him up with Twitch or something.
I think that might be just like how I do.
There
I just
are so
don't-
many
I don't
drugs.
openly kill things. I just sedate them to overdosing. I just overdose sedatives.
But yeah, okay, so we did morphs and stuff, so let's do gear packages real quick. So, by default, every character gets a Muse ALI.
Yeah.
So your Muse is your AI buddy. It's like Clippy, but better. It's like Siri, it's like Cortana. It's that guy. They are always with you, and they always influence you. If you want to know the stats for a Muse ALI, just Control F Muse in the gear guide.
Really, my only thing.
Easier by being psychology 60.
Yes, they can analyze your brain stuff, like they can help you psychologize after being crazy. They do a little bit of hacking for you. They know a little infosec to defend you. They can do a little bit of programming, research, perception. They manage your funds. They also have 2 other no skills at 40, which you get to pick. So basically, your Muse learns from you. They're not self-improving, but they are heuristic programs. So they have a lot of... The way I describe this is your Muse has a lot of different sliders that when you first get your Muse, they are all set to default. As you interact with them, their sliders adjust more and more until they fit the perfect behavior you have. We don't necessarily roleplay Muses too deeply, but your Muse should probably have, like, their own personality and appearance so I can see what they're like. You don't have to think about that too hard right now. We'll
Okay.
come back to that, I'm sure.
So after the 3 motivational goals,
Yes, we are. That's it. That's your. We're in finishing touches, so let's cover your gear packs and stuff real quick.
okay. So after the 3 motivational goals, what else do I add? Like that Muse thing? Where did I put that? Oh, shoot.
That's your gear. Write your standard Muse down.
Okay.
So every character gets a Muse ALI for free. You get your campaign pack. So everybody, we're doing firewall. So everybody gets an anonymizer, a light armor vest, a fake ego ID, a medium pistol, smart clothing, TACnet, and VPN.
Can I just see where that is in the PDF?
Yeah, that's in the gear That's in the gear package list, and those are in the gear guide.
Okay, I just found the gear guide. For the gear guide.
So there's this. Also, since you're a synthmorph, though, you can swap 2 of those with stars. That'll be in the PDF. Which one is it? Where's the gear
I'm
packs?
just looking. There's no like just pack areas for the gear guide. I'm looking here.
No, the packs are in the bottom of the cheat sheet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a list.
Oh, the cheat sheet. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that'll... And then if you want to know what those do mechanically, you can cross-check with the gear guide. So you're a synthmorph. I think you're the only one in a synthmorph, but you get to swap 2 of those options for something else because of reasons. My god, this thing is not well organized.
I need to look what these things do. Okay.
Yeah, you can just write them down in your gear list for now, and while you're doing finishing touches later, you can fill them in. So where's gear packs? Packages of gears. Where's ours, you?
What's anti-glare?
Okay, so no glare modifiers. Yeah, so you would basically ditch the smart clothing, because you don't need vacuum
Yeah, I would.
clothing.
Oh, yeah, I need that. And then I guess instead of light armor vesting, industrial armor.
Yeah, you get industrial armor, which basically doubles your AV, because you're already 6'4", and this is like even more 6. It's +6 +4, so
All
you're
right,
8'12", or 12'8", rather.
Then just put also industrial armor there.
Yeah, that's type of wear, but we'll sort that all out. You'll probably cross-reference all this to get everything organized. And then anti-glare
All right.
is you have no glare penalties. If somebody, like, throws a flashbang in your face or shoots a laser beam in your eyes, you're like,
All right,
no,
I'll
dude.
just put anti-glare. And my
Yeah.
where?
And then after that,
Yes, and then you get a pack for what your profession was. So, for instance, as a face... Oh, that's right, I forgot. You maybe should have gotten some animal handling, Lucky. Because you get a fucking smart hawk.
Well, I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Parents don't usually call me.
Analyzer, think you go.
Yeah, I think Lucky's starting.
Okay, I'm
So it's a
getting
soldier.
soldier.
Yes, so you get a real good assault rifle, enhanced vision, grin, meds, and Nurican.
Whose pack is this?
Alright, well,
Soldier.
there's also gonna be a good chance I need to talk to him about, car and stuff.
Yeah, you are. What was your starting experience? Was that medic?
I did, yeah. I did, wasn't medic, but it was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, you got medic as your career.
yeah, I did, yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
well,
get
that's
a
what
DocBot,
healing
healing
spray
spray, healing vat, meds, and a med scanner.
I could do that instead of the other one.
No, this is your, because that was your career. So this is, you get both.
Oh, okay, cool.
So this is your.
These are all wares, I guess, right?
No, these are all gears. These are all
Okay.
separate. Where is implants?
Oh yeah, if it's not like I can.
Okay, let me just move
I
these.
think those are
I should be able to-
augmentations.
If I get up early enough, I can get in.
Yeah,
and-
no, that's the thing. Where is AUG? Gear is external stuff.
Can TechNet app and VPN app. I assume those are not where, but those are here.
Yeah, those are gear. Those are apps.
Mhm.
Yeah, everybody has TACnets. We'll talk about how cool those are at a different time.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
Okay, industrial armor is where. That means I'll be
Yeah.
weirdly good at taking shots, I guess.
Yeah, you can tank.
I am a good medic, I guess.
Well, that is a good quality you want in your medic, is that he can rush out into the field of battle and heal you without dying himself.
And also, like,
Actually, wait, fuck. Nobody can fix you.
Okay,
I don't think anybody
if
took
you
hardware
are-
robotics. That's bad.
Are you
okay,
looking?
that's maybe I should invest in. Maybe,
When you get to gear later, you should probably buy either
Self-repair.
repair sprays or, like, fixer nanobots or something.
Are you
I was thinking
Um,
because I have 2 extra points left, so like I wonder if I could
actually,
just get, like,
yeah, hold on. Let me
self-repairing.
double check. What's medicines?
Can I get self-repair? Like it's just like self-repairing.
Yes, that is the medicines implant. That is, that's major. That's 3 points. Okay,
I
you'll have
only
to pick that up
because
later.
I only had 6 points, so like mine was 4.
No,
so,
yeah. You'd have to pick that up with separately. We'll get into your full gear points budget in a second, because everybody gets a mission budget, and we'll cover that. I told Ron that earlier. But
Unless I just get a trait that like unless I get like should I save these 2
No,
points for
you-
gear or what?
you can get those 2 points into stuff, and they could be wear, or they could be gear. You could turn them into an ego flex point if
can't-
you wanted,
or not a
an
trait, I
ego
guess,
flex
'cause it's
point.
like
yeah,
there's-
you could get a morph trait. There is no trait for being able to self heal as a morph, but you can, like I said, you can buy wear that'll help or gear that'll help you out later. So let me check fixer. What is stats on fixer swarm? Fixer swarm is moderate, so hive is 1 level higher. So that means it's major. So what is repair spray? What's repair spray? Repair spray is minor. You can get 2 doses of those.
Your rapid healing is only for biomorphs.
Yeah. Yeah, so Lucky, while you were busy, we realized nobody can fix Dr. Robot Man.
Oh.
And medicines are major. So we'll work on that in a second, because we were running through. We're in gear packs
my
now.
my two like morph points. I'm not sure. I guess I'll just focus into like aware. That
Isn't there like a nanoswarm that can do repairs?
That would also cost him. Well, that would be moderate by default, but if he wants to maintain it, he would have to buy a hive.
Yeah.
It'd be easier to buy like 2 repair sprays.
Yeah.
But no, so those morph points, those can be traits, or you can turn them into gear points, and then that'll go into your gear point pool, which we're about to talk about.
unless like one of us like eventually starts
Fuck.
building into like mech repair.
But
Like,
yeah, so we were talking about stuff. So I joked earlier, but
uh,
you were on the phone, Lucky. Maybe you should have taken
Sorry.
animal handling, because you're a face, which means you get a smart hawk.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at that. I was like, I get a smart hawk? What?
What do you use a smart hawk for?
Surveillance.
Oh yeah, true.
You
Yeah,
just
give
throw
him,
it up
give
the
him
air.
a camera.
Because we also get, like, with our firewall package, we get attack nets in. Real talk.
Yeah, attack nets are the
Attack
great.
nets. They are the greatest.
Could I just have a DocBot that also work? I could do Sims.
No.
Okay.
Like I said, don't stress too much over it yet. We're not finalizing your gear list.
All right.
But yes, I just realized I don't think anybody has hardware robotics unless Marth is going to be running some points. You could. I mean, you should probably keep your infiltrate because I'm sure your reflexes are also probably pretty good as a shootman. So
Yeah.
like having two people who can
please.
sneak is okay.
I have 40 sneak right now.
Yes, and you can probably help that out later. But yeah, so let's see. Oh
Okay,
god,
don't
I mean,
listed out.
Ron's career was covert ops, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's great. So he's got a chameleon cloak, a criminal swarm.
What is my industrial armor at? It has like 2 each.
No, it's plus 6+4.
So it's double. So it's double light frame. So it's still 8.
It's total.
Right.
It's a total of 12/8. That is actually important because that is
that
both
gives me
energy
plus
and
2 vigor.
Industrial light flame. So 12 8. All right, cool.
Okay,
so
so as long as I
oh, actually, this
have-
is really good for you, Lucky. Your starting kit comes with a medium faber.
Yep.
A nano detector too.
okay.
Well, it's good for like seeping for bugs and shit, and
I
are
assume
there-
the healing bat, the healing spray, the med. I assume we'll be using the med scanner a bunch.
Yeah,
like,
med scanner
trying to
is
understand,
literally-
like, weird things.
You stab a guy with a thing, it scans his meds. It's like, do you have anything
Oh.
problems with you? Do you have any nanobots in your system? Toxins? It's like,
Okay. Is there
It's
no
a
way to
little-
just have an actual like scanning device for like?
no,
detect-
there's no
just, like,
tricorders. You can't. That's the thing. This is hard sci-fi. You can't learn anything about how well a person is from like EM emissions. That's
It's
not
more
how that
like
works.
if there's a weird giant psionic creature mess in front of us, I want to scan it without touching it.
No, that's weird alien shit. There's no scanner for that. There is,
Okay.
however, jammers for that. But no, it's a thing.
Jammers?
There's a side jammer. It's in the gear list. You can interfere with the brainwaves that do psi stuff wirelessly.
Okay.
He can still touch you. But yeah, so DocBot would basically mean you have a healing bot with you. Healing spray is a one-use healing thing, so is meds, and then healing vat is you have basically a back to tank. And Marth did soldier, which is great, so he's got a fucking railgun and neurocam and enhanced vision. And got some drugs.
All right, I'm gonna drop 10 points out of my fucking
I believe that's
fray. It's gonna go down to 30, but
pretty much
whatever.
Same amount I have.
Ignore plus 1 wound modifier.
Because I'm gonna take another exotic skill, animal handling,
Mhm.
for reasons.
Yeah, so you can tell your fucking bird what to do.
It's like, why do you have a smart hawk? Impulse buy.
Yeah, and actually, so if you want to write down the stats of that, that's not in the gear guide, but I figured you guys can control F, that sort of stuff. So smart
Yeah.
hawk.
Oh shit. Ah shit. What is the fucking animal? I know it was in the fucking Oh shit. Well, I know it was in the fucking.
What are we looking for?
Oh, the what the link skill for animal handling was, because it was in the fucking
Oh, it's INT. It's int.
what's in it? All right, well that's a 15 for me, buddy. All right, so 15, 10 points. That gives me a nice 25. Actually, wasn't there an animal empathy thing?
There's
I
a
could
trait
just
for that.
hang on.
If you got a point left, or you can move a point, you can just take it
I
and
can-
get a plus 10 on that.
Let's see.
You
here.
can also buy a cyber cortex, which is an implant, which means you get pluses to that. Where is that in the gear guide? Cyber cortex. So the cyber cortex is a moderate cost, but it gives you a plus 10 to animal handling skills versus your smart animal.
Really?
Yeah, basically
Yeah,
it's a compressed cyber brain. What was that?
I want to. Can I get your email address? Because I need to like share my sheet with you.
Just make it share with the link only.
Okay, sure.
That way
Cool
the other
docs, yeah.
players can look at it stuff. That's usually what I do.
No,
Alright.
let's see here.
Okay. But so after you write down your core gear packs, we're gonna, because like I said, I told Ron this already what your gear budget is. So by default, your GP budget is 20. This is your pre-mission budget, so I figure we'll just go ahead and spend it all as part of this character creation aspect. So the convenient thing is that each gear package for the career is worth 10 GP. So if you don't want to comb through the gear guide and you just want to pick up some other shit, you can just go like, I'll also buy this gear pack. That's just 10 of your gear points.
Oh, that's neat.
I'm gonna do your back.
All right, cool.
Or if you want to get down in the whole thing, there's the gear guide, which lists the, so minor is worth 1 GP, moderate is 2, major is 3, rare is 5+.
By the way, because I have resources, do I add that total
Yes,
to my
you
initial?
add that gear points to your 20 you get.
Nice.
Because you have a larger spending budget. Like, the 20 gear points is, here's what a combination of your personal resources and the firewall ops budget gets you. And so, like, now my recommendations, like, core implant shit. Medicines are expensive, but great. Because they let you heal faster. If you are a synthmorph, they let you heal naturally because you literally have repair bots. You have an immune system, basically. Where is the easiest wear? Standard augmentations. So that's a pretty basic bitch one. If you can afford it, the +2s to your pool that matters is a really good thing. Like Marth got his Nerdcam for free.
Say that again?
Marth got his Nerdcam for free. But the +2 to your pools that matter. So for like Dr. Hackman,
I think I have a name idea. Alvos.
Okay. You probably need to write that down for me because I am terrible with names, but that's okay.
I did that, but it's in the name of the sheet now.
Alright, good. But yeah, so insight is your core pool, so if you have the free points to just give yourself more insight, that's good. But those are expensive. Like, Mind App is a major buy, so that's 3 gear points out of your budget. And you get, is it neuromodulation? So Lucky gets the +1 Moxie one.
I kind of zoned out as I was like doing some calculations. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So basically, we're in the gear spending phase. Everybody has 20 GP. You have 22 because you calculated that extras in there.
Oh yeah, the 4 points.
And so basically, buy whatever gear you need. If you want a quick and dirty way to buy gear, every gear package is worth 10 gear points. So you could be like, okay, I'll just pick up the hacker and spend 10 of my gear points and get those. So you can do it fast if you need to, or like I said, that's what the gear guide is for. You can literally hunt for everything you want.
Yeah, I guess I could look through these to see if anything's really good.
So the stuff that is good is anything that gives you pools is great. It's expensive, but if you can afford the energy efficiency, that gives you an extra short recharge every day, which is just great. Let me double check then what Circadian is.
What was it take for a fixer?
A fixer swarm?
Yeah.
That's in the gear guide, just Control F fixer.
I'm looking at that, but it was like, how was it cost?
Oh, it's at the top, the translation. So moderate is 2 GP.
Alright, gotcha.
It's 1, 2, 3, 5 for rare. So if you are a biomorph, I will say this, because this is now a recharge game, buy Circadian Regulation. Find 2 points, buy Circadian Regulation. You can take a long recharge in 2 hours.
I am a synth, so no.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's not. Actually, no, you can. That's meshware. You can install it in your Cyberbrain. So also, if you have 2 points, buy that.
Oh, it's for the brain, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It can be software. So that's the thing I should tell you all about. If you're looking at augments or wear, it's at the top of the gear guide. So BioWare is listed as B, only biomorphs can take that. Cyberware is C, only biomorphs can take that, technically. But I think literally every cyberware is also hardware, which is synthmorph bots and vehicles only. Meshware is either you're an infomorph or you have a cyberbrain. And nanoware is literally anybody, because it's...
Oh yeah, top. Okay, acquisition cost, wear types...
Also, here's another important thing. You should probably jot this down somewhere. Everything you get in your starting gear packs, not before you spend your 20 gear points, but anything in those 2 starting packs, you also have blueprints for.
Oh.
Okay. So you can literally print those whenever. So long as you can find a Faber. And hey, guess what? You own a Faber.
Booyah, medium.
Yeah, so medium... I think that lets you fab small items.
Okay, then we just gonna mark I have all my gear in a comment as a store.
So let me just add animal empathy because that's important.
So that's basically like my core advice. Like, hey, if you want to go full blown paranoid, you can. Nanophages are great. Toxin, it's not called toxin filters anymore. What is it called? Is that under physical ogs? That's sensory ogs. Is it under physical? Combat. Physical. Circadian regulation is good. For those of you who have to breathe air, I recommend buying a vac suit or buying vacuum sealing or something.
Should I have a spare oxygen just in case for other
No,
people?
you don't. You don't need to worry about that.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess that's something like
If
depending
you
on
wanted
the
to
job,
buy
we'll
some
look at that
breathers as like emergency air supply, that works. But they really should take care of their own fucking air.
next. Okay.
So vacuum sealing is pretty cheap.
I assume I have trauma kit. Should be fine.
Unless it's in your gear list, no, you don't have a toolkit for paramedic. But that would be what you want to pick up. That would make sure you can always carry the tools with you.
Yeah, either I got the medic. hack
You
or
could
something.
also buy either Utilitool or Utilimod, which would be you have wrist-mounted Utilitools, which is basically
Might as
you have
well.
smart material tools, which can be anything you need. You need a scalpel. It takes a couple minutes, but it's a scalpel.
Surgery usually it's like you can't rush it. Most of the time you shouldn't.
Yeah, so, like I said, the universal goods are energy... Is it efficiency? I think it's efficiency. Yeah, energy efficiency, so you get an extra short recharge, and circadian regulation, you take a long recharge in 2 hours. Those are like...
Oh, where is that supposed to be?
These are all wares. You could just control F them.
Oh, okay, so I buy the cerebral cortex for my hawk. Okay.
Yes, he gets the implant, which the hawk, or she, I don't know,
I don't
which
know.
the hawk doesn't have by default. They have enhanced vision and hearing, I think.
Caca!
And they have some, like, the hawk is like a fray of like 60.
What were those things you were saying again specifically? Like, is that like
Energy efficiency is one of them, and circadian regulation. Those, like I said, those are if you can afford medicines, which is another major complex, that's
it's a
like
major,
everybody should
that's
have that
fine.
shit.
Major's 3, I can do that.
And
Oh,
then
Jesus.
everything else is like, oh, it is still called toxic filters. Okay. And then everything else is just like, how paranoid do you want to be? Like, you, synth boy, don't need toxin filters. The meat bags might want toxin filters. I don't know.
I'm never gonna call them meat bags, but
No, I get to call them meat bags.
that's your privilege.
Yes. Nanophages is a good one.
I'm now starting to get the idea for the character is like, you can be racist, but I'm not going to. You can do that. I'm not going to bother you about it, but I'm not you.
And then there's fuck tons of drugs. I honestly, because of addiction modifiers and temporary duration, most drugs are not great
Oh, yeah.
because they have enhanced effects, but some of the small ones are okay. And here's the thing also, most drugs are available as narco algorithms, so even the robot can get high. If you are concerned about your brain breaking, I recommend the eternal, always popular orbital hash.
I got 19 points left, so...
Or there's now an upgraded version of orbital hash, TGS, the good stuff. Which means that you get to ignore 1 trauma, 1 wound, plus 10 to your will check, and get enhanced behavior serene. So it's really good.
That's like 2 points. Okay.
If your face ever needs to do a tough negotiation, you have 5 doses of stiff. So if you need them, I can do weapon recommendations.
So these drugs just like make you laugh because it's like, yeah, these would exist. It's like still
No.
funny.
They wrote some punny names. One of them is like no fucks with an X, kids. YouTube. But there's Juice, Blab, Hither is always fun. Hither's got a really nasty addiction rate, though, I think.
Well, shit, that's why my character was just started fucking addicted to it last time. I was like, nah, I just got this.
But now you're addicted to like shopping, which is weirdly worse, but also not.
I got the money for it.
Yeah, you do the money.
I mean, your money's kind of it's a blank check.
It's a lot. It's a lot of money. And it's not technically a blank check, but it's probably going to be most in there. You can.
You're not going to lose it unless like you blindly invest in something that like even you would never do.
Well, unless I get like a black market, it's all. This is why I'm looking at disguises and stuff. I'm like, I probably shouldn't get it out that I'm running around. I'm doing places. Some of the cognitive drugs can be fun. Kalar is basically double space coffee, plus 10 to perceive no distraction penalty.
Right. So besides the energy efficiency, what should I also have done? With the circadian rhythm?
Circadian regulation, yeah, because that lets you recharge shorter faster. Or long faster, which it's basically less downtime.
Regulator.
And then a lot of where is just, what's your character archetype, and then what do you want? So, for instance,
If it's an AUG, does it count as like where?
yeah, that goes in where. The standard augmentations are all where, and the other stuff.
Cool. I think I've found a way where it's like I can make it easier by just putting the name of it and then putting the description of it as a comment, which works.
Yeah, if that works for you. These
Just
guys have probably
like-
rigged some double secret spreadsheet or something by now.
Yes.
I know what you do. Okay. So like I said, like, for instance, Marth's character probably wants to look at combat augmentations.
I still have 17 actually.
That's what I'm actually going to look at because I'm all like, I gotta get all hitched up in all this combat.
Yeah, so for instance, if you want to die less, hardened skeleton. You know, that's
I
a
already
good one.
have that by default.
Well, yeah, you can still take it though. It's still pretty solid.
I think.
Muscle augmentation also works, but that's probably better if you're doing stuff in melee.
Energy efficiency.
I'm right now just copying down like descriptions
Animations and pumps and flags.
because I have a data validation sheet which then I put into so I can just do pull down.
Reflex
lists.
boosters. Smart actuators.
So
But the actuators
obviously,
being fun.
like, Lucky's character probably wants to look at social augs.
I'm in there right now.
Yeah, those are good
I
shit.
probably want to be like utility AUG, so it's like where's utility?
That's not a category. You've got sensory, mental, social,
Utility
combat,
mod.
physical.
Okay, utility mods, moderate. Okay.
Yeah, it's a physical.
So then I still have. So it's like that was 19. Okay, so. So 15 points after utility mod.
Well, remember, there's a lot of this is all you're still in where. There's a lot of external shit. Though also, like, don't forget sensory. That's usually a pretty broad area to look at.
Yeah. Still 15, so.
Chem sniffer might be good for you specifically. It's the or social or sensory. Chem sniffer. Oh, that's cyberware or hardware. Okay.
So here's the problem. It's just like there's a lot of gear, and I'm just like, this stuff is all good. I want it all. Give it.
Utility mod. Okay, have that. I'm just thinking about what else I should get. Like meshware, I guess.
Yeah, you could buy meshware if you want to.
Oh, I should probably actually write down some of my fucking gear. My gear packages.
Packages down. 'Cause
I'm
it's
just trying-
default.
You
So
guys
basically,
anything
this is the final thing. Like, if you guys want any more specific advice about stuff, I can give it, or we can do that offline.
I'm just
Actually, we
curious
can do
what else
that.
I should get. Like, I still have 15 points. I'm just curious like what else I should probably just like have. For what I think.
Well, okay, like if you guns is your combat skill, right?
Yeah.
So I would look at the ranged weapons. Probably for somebody like you, a simple beam weapon like a microwave agonizer or a stunner is probably a good idea.
Can I stockpile in like sedative bullets?
Oh, no, if you want to do that, then you need to like. Well, honestly, heck, you could just buy, like
I got a medium pistol, but it's
like a
whatever.
sprayer, a literal squirt gun, just spray people with sedatives. There's a lot of
Squirt
different stuff
gun,
you
yeah.
can do. I would like if you really are gonna be dark, like if you're gonna do that kind of stuff, double check all the drugs
Yeah.
and
Actually, you know
also
what I'm gonna
toxins.
I'm gonna get me a
I could
skill
just-
where.
I could just invest in like high grade anesthesia,
Let's see. here.
a buzzer, a freezer.
Yeah, so like for
Yeah, I'm gonna
toxins, there's like BTX squared, which is botulotoxin that kills people good. There's CR gas. There's flight, which is a fear, basically a panic toxin. You can just give people nerve X, which is nerve gas. You probably don't want to do that. Or Twitch is a non-lethal nerve agent, which is incapacitating convulsions.
Okay, so then like that'd be canisters or like.
Well,
sprayer?
you would basically buy doses, and then you need a method to deliver them to people. So, every drug in the book, like if you find it in the PDF, we'll talk about how it can be applied. It's vectors. So
Okay.
some are dermal or inhaled. Those like you can put in a gas grenade, which you buy separately. And grenades are pretty cheap, so it's not that hard.
All right, so.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It's like I'm getting me a skill where, and I'm just gonna get me 40 in guns, fray, and maybe I don't know something else.
That's fair.
Probably invest in at least like the one weapon I have and like maybe get like something so it's like not as loud. We'll see.
Well, there's a full range of gun mods. So
Yeah,
you
there
need a
is.
flash and sound suppressor, and they got it.
Ooh, seeker grenades.
Yeah,
Secret gas grenades, that'd be interesting.
Are fun. Those are rocket launchers or gyrojet munitions. Some just cheap basic stuff, like everybody should probably look at everyday tech.
Yeah.
just to see if you find anything that works. Mesh hardware, you're also the computer man. You might want to buy some fiber optic cables, just so you don't have to be constantly wirelessing people.
Mesh for yeah.
You have access jacks. Ron will probably figure out most of his covert shit, so you probably don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
There is no, like, there's no suppressor or silencer. It's all just, like, because it wouldn't be, there isn't really one, technically.
No, it's in the weapon.
Yeah.
The
Flash accessories. Flash suppressor and sound suppressor. They're different things.
Oh, there it is. I just didn't see this says.
Alright. Personally, I do love the arm slide.
Yes, conceal the one-handed weapon.
Gives you
I
the...
don't have sleeves. Wait, I just have compartment arms.
Well, hey, also,
this
heck,
is the
you're a robot.
This is a transhuman fusion. We can put robot clothes on robots.
Yeah, I'm not.
But also, you could just buy concealed weapon mounts. The gun is me. I am the gun.
RoboCop arm.
Alright, so let's see.
Oh, also, though, once again, to my squishy friends, BioWeave is cheap as balls, and, it's a plus armor. Actually, I should say that as a rule thing. So, if something lists armor value as a plus, that means it adds to whatever your armor value is, regardless. There's no layering penalty. If it has a flat armor value, then it is the base which gets added to, and you have to be careful about layering those.
Oh, well, with, like, the industrial armor, it's like I have basically medium-grade combat armor.
Yes, and that also was a plus, so you could technically be like, also, I'm just gonna put a vest over me, just in case.
BioWeave?
No, you can't. BioWeave is a BioWare.
Okay.
You already have an implant wear, so you can't buy another armor wear.
Okay.
But I could get, like, light combat armor on top
Yes,
of
you
it.
could buy an armor gear and be like...
Then I'd have, like, 22 armor.
Yes, welcome to armor layering. There's no more armor pen stat either, it's just the armor piercing quality halves your armor, period.
I'll consider that.
If you need to be hardy. No, trust me, this is EP. Armor bullshit is a thing.
Important?
Okay, have you seen how much damage a plasma rifle
anyway.
does?
The
plasma gun is armor piercing, so it halves your armor, and then it does 4d10 plus 10.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'll get the light combat armor.
So by the way, that's the thing. Weapons. Guns are all one skill. If you want to fuck somebody's shit up, a plasma is probably one of the best close-range weapons. It's a cone weapon now, so it's literally a plasma shotgun.
So, I think of maybe getting a plasma pistol, and then, like...
No, there's no plasma pistol.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So plasma's in spray. The descriptions I tried to make sure to list everything. So, like, technically a laser pulsar is rifle-sized. Electro lasers, like stunners and microwave agonizers, are one-handed. Marth has a railgun assault rifle.
Yes.
Okay, then, I'm gonna get light combat armor. So that's...
Fix that typo. So there's a couple different options you can go for with weapons. Like kinetic has, non-railgun kinetic has the advantage of multiple armor types. Kinetic ammunition,
So if I have industrial armor, and like combat armor, can I like layer that?
Yes, you can, because that's.
I assume like one is like actually like police gear, the other one is like the frame.
Yes, one is something you wear. The industrial armor is literally your body is outfitted with
plating. Yeah,
modified so that you have. I think industrial is basically what it says. It's like it's safety and emergency protection. So you've got like, crumple zones for accidents.
I look like a paramedic robot.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so that's the thing about railguns now is they don't necessarily do extra damage, but they do have the armor piercing trait by default, and they have fuck tons more ammo and extra range. So as Marth has listed, he has 90 bullets in his railgun. Also, there is no real flash. There is a sound which you cannot suppress, but there's no flash.
Alright,
it's a hypersonic metal.
Then I'll do. I think then I will probably do the. Where is it? Spray. I guess then I'd probably do plasma, and I'd also probably do.
Well, yeah, plasmas are really expensive. That's like you're not a major combat character. You probably don't need to carry a big fuck off gun.
Sprayer. I could probably do sprayer if like various different things.
Yeah, you could do a sprayer, and then you can basically.
I have a pistol anyway, just if I need to. But like, I'm probably mostly just going to be like trying to like.
Another cheap option is like the Vortex ring gun, which you can put you can put chemicals in, or you can just fire the vortex rings at people to knock them down.
That's actually useful because it's like I'd probably be more about like restraining, so like
Yeah.
other people can shoot them.
Yeah, it's got the knockdown trait, so basically you literally just shoot vortex rings of air. People have to try and fall over. If you needed to, you could combine it with a dose of a drug or toxin.
Which I probably would create. I could start getting creative with that. Actually.
Oh,
so,
also that's another thing I should mention. If you guys want to eat or want to make drugs, you not only want to buy an auto cook, but you want to make sure you upgrade that to a higher level of cost. You don't have to, but auto cook is your basic food maker.
yeah, that's something Lucky can be in charge of.
He already has a medium fabric, so yeah, if he wants to work on that.
Alright, cool.
He is
I'm
your
just
procurer.
I assume. Okay, so
And if any of you, I don't know if anybody bought any points in Melee, so.
What?
Did anybody buy any points in Melee?
I have
did.
60 points in melee,
He's good at melee.
Okay.
and I have 8 points in guns.
Yeah, okay, you're good.
Good.
So, technically, monofilament swords are restricted, but that or the diamond axe is really your best bet. They're both armor piercing, they both have reach. It's really just a matter of, do you want two-handed or one-handed?
Yeah.
I should probably get claws.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Melee wear, it's cheap.
I'm just
you
a
can-
simp. I can just punch shit if I need to.
Yeah, no, you do 2d6. Your unarmed damage is already doubled anyway, so.
It's like I means I can like push stuff back if I need to.
You might want to consider eelware, which is cheap. That would give you a shock effect on your unarmed attacks and can also be used to power small devices.
That's probably actually really useful, yeah. Especially if like I need to like emergency short circuit a thing to like
Mhm.
prevent.
I mean, personally, I think the piston spike is really cool.
Oh no, I'm looking at him. I'm like, I kind of want this.
But also, it's totally not your character. But goddamn, is it cool!
Yeah, it is.
There's also no more cyber claws. There's the spur, which is basically you have a 6-inch smart material blade concealed to your body.
Where do you put ammo on like this on like the on like the table for ranged weapons?
Oh,
Like ammo 20 and reload or something?
oh yeah. Okay, this might be different. So yeah, yeah.
I was just
Reload
like,
should be
because I
ammo.
copied out the vortex ring gun and put it on the
Yeah,
table.
ammo would go in where reload is now. I just realized I didn't change that. I tried to double check this for the beta, but
All right,
yeah,
let's put that there.
I
And
think
then
there was
we-
a question of whether or not ammo would be tracked individually or not when the beta started. Now it is definitely
Alright.
there. Alright, so
and
yeah,
then
basically, I
maybe-
figure you guys have some of the basic stuff down. We can, if you have any more questions
Yeah.
about things you need, you can just shoot messages to me. This recording is
Yeah.
already 3.5 hours.
Oh, we
Yes.
probably could have like done this off mic. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Like I felt fair talking you through guys some of this, but yeah. So basically,
I
if
said,
you got-
Lucky is looking at Gearborn. So
so yeah, if you have
I would like
questions
to-
about stuff that makes better sense mechanically, go for it. But
I would
otherwise,
like-
we'll probably
yeah, I
go
would-
ahead and sign off now.
You better sign off.
So I'll go ahead and since this
See
is
ya.
recorded, I'll do the outro, which is, hey, if you watch this on YouTube, give us a like. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. Consider joining our Discord. That's where we host games like this. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and consider hitting that bell for notifications so you always know we post a new episode. And if you were a patron, you could listen to this in audio format, though it's like 3 hours, so unless it edits down a lot, I probably got to host it externally. But anyway, it's there. Yeah,
See
so
ya.
that's the ending. Bye, everybody.